Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It's a Wednesday edition along with Jason Lloyd and Mikey McNuggets. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Earl the Pearl and Steve behind the glass today.
And Spencer.
And Spencer, that's right. I'm not used to Spencer being here, but he's in for Anthony this week. What's going on, guys? Anything exciting happening for you?
Yeah, I thought of this right before the show started.
Yeah.
I was going to say it off the air, but I'll say it on the air.
Uh-oh, that's dangerous.
I am not the guy at the airport bar. Okay, that's not me.
What do you mean?
Oh, there's a video going around.
Oh, yeah.
This thing has been sent to me so many times.
Oh.
I've had people
You got
email
tagged
to
me this morning.
Some guy.
I saw yours. I saw you.
Some
Yeah.
guy that looks like you was going crazy.
It's hysterical. This dude's sitting at the bar at the airport, and his wife is yelling at him, and he's like this. I'm like,
And
man.
not
So
only
it could
does
be you.
And it looks like Jason.
It does
But
look
it
a
looks
lot like
just
me.
like Jason. And based on some of the life experiences we've heard from Jason, that very
Yeah.
well could be a situation Jason Lloyd finds
Yes.
himself in.
Getting yelled at by my wife.
100% could be.
But it looks
airport
just
bar.
like Jason.
My wife is much better looking than that lady.
All right, look at that.
I'm sure she's a nice lady when she's not screaming at her husband outside D6.
Yeah.
My wife's much better looking
Oh,
than her.
good for you. You're getting some points for that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of funny things at the airport, that's nothing that happened to me, but I just happened to be watching Curb Your Enthusiasm the other day.
Such a good show.
Have you guys seen the episode? There's an episode where, what's his name? His friend, who's his agent. I can't think of his name.
I don't ever watch the show.
Jeff
Jeff
Garland's the
yeah.
actor. I think he goes by Jeff on the show.
He goes
too.
by Jeff, yeah.
Anyway, so there's an episode where he sets up a plan for him and Larry and a couple of the other buddies to do this guy's night out because his wife's going out of town. So he's driving to the airport, taking his wife to the airport, and he's in like a great mood because his wife's leaving town. And he's like singing, he's doing all these things. And Susie, who's his wife, is like giving him this dirty look. Like, what is going on? And they get to the airport. He's like dancing. He's taking her bags out. He gives her a hug, and she goes, "What the F are you so happy about?" And he's like, "I don't know. You know." She's like, "Put the bags back in the car. I'm not going anywhere." And then there's the scene where he has to tell his friends that he screwed up and was too happy. And Larry David's like, "You got to keep it in. You're never too happy at the drop-off. What's the matter with you?"
I've reached the age, I'm so
Yeah.
pathetic. Alessia will go away on like the girls' weekend, like they go scrapbooking, like
Yeah, right.
whatever. And she loves it.
Yeah.
And I'll have the house to myself. All I want to do is just binge watch something.
That's it.
I just want to get on the couch and not get off it and not have to get up.
Yeah.
And the kids are out doing their thing, and I can just sit and watch a show.
That's it. Yeah.
Just
be lazy.
wait till you
I
get
have
there.
not reached that level of...
You will.
Of laziness?
You will.
Yeah, no.
Peak laziness?
You will.
I did just start Severance.
Oh, you'd never watched it?
No, because...
You're a one show at a time type
one
of guy.
show at a time kind of guy. And when season 1 happened,
Yeah.
everyone talked about it, but I was like, well, season 2's coming. I'm going to wait for season 2 to come out.
Yeah.
And then season 2 came out, and it was going on. I didn't want to be playing catch up while it was going on, so I
Right.
waited the appropriate time. And now I'm 4 episodes in, and
It's amazing, isn't it?
I did not like the first few episodes. I don't know why I kept watching it because it was like almost hate watching it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is stupid. This is boring. This is
I felt that way at
slow.
first, and then I stopped, and I went back.
Yeah, it picks up. If you like the first 4 episodes, you'll
Well,
love it because I thought it was dumb.
I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah.
No clue.
I'm so
You're going to
far
have
in
no
the
clue
dark,
for a while.
Yeah.
but I'm hooked enough to need to keep watching to figure out what the hell
and
is
the
going
acting
on.
is so top-notch in that.
My
It
only
is,
complaint,
yeah.
they shoot everything in the dark. It is the dark, like, from an actual light standpoint. Like, we have lights in the
part of the
studio.
deal of the show,
I
you
know, but there are parts of it where I'm like,
Well, not when they're in
What
the
the hell's going
office.
on?
Not
No,
those
but it's
parts
just-
are bright.
it's all the
but
scenes
and
in the
outside
house
of the
and-
office, yes.
all shot in the dark,
it's
which I'm
all-
sure is intentional.
Yes, it is, but
Very
yeah.
good show.
Yeah. All right. So plenty to get to today. The Browns scrimmaging with the Panthers as we speak. Their first preseason game is 2 days away. The Guardians are playing very well. Could they actually make the playoffs? We'll talk about the Cavs for a minute. We've got a professional skateboarder coming into the studio. because there's a big skateboarding event as part of the MJK.
MGK. It's not Michael Jordan, Kelly.
It's funny because as I was saying it, I'm like, I'm going to screw this up. In my mind, I was saying, and I did.
You did.
It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. MGK. He's not Machine. John Kelly.
I always invert MGK and MKG from my NBA days of covering Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and writing MKG. So I always want to say.
But you didn't screw it up there.
Did not.
I did in this case. Anyway, so plenty to get to. First, we'll go to Earl for a read before we get into what's happening at Browns practice.
What up, fellas? It's a good time to let you know that this episode is presented to you by Yahoo Fantasy. Fantasy football is back. Fire up the group chat, get your draft board ready, and buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions we live for. It's all going down on Yahoo Fantasy. This year, me and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show guys are playing on Yahoo Fantasy, and you should too, whether you're a first-timer or a veteran making your millionth league. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, or more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy League at yahoofantasy.com/lockedonnfl. That's yahoofantasy.com/lockedonnfl. And let's make this fantasy season the best one yet.
And speaking of the UCSS Fantasy Football League on Yahoo, which we're back on Yahoo, we are going to have 2, maybe 3 spots available for fans. Last year we had 2 fans of the show. They had to do a contest, I think. I can't remember.
They roasted us, remember?
They roasted us. We picked the 2 best to be in the league. This year we're going to do that. Let's do that again.
We can do that again.
And we might even have 3 fans, depending on, we've got to clarify with one other person. But either 2 or 3 fans will be able to join us. The fans we had last year was Sam and Butters.
Who were both great additions.
Great, nice guys, but we got to open it up. We were going to bring them back, but we had to open it up to the...
Out of fairness to everyone.
Yeah, out of fairness. So we'll have 2, maybe 3 open spots for the fans that we will tell you about here in probably the next week or 2. So, Earl? Let's just get to it. So the Browns are in Carolina, guys. Practice going on as we speak. Apparently it's really bad weather in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. There's been a lot of talk of rain, but they are practicing in the bad weather. And after the show yesterday, and you see the forecast there, not pretty. So there'll be a lot of rain today. But yesterday it got announced that Joe Flacco, not announced, but Mary Kay reported.
And Stefanski confirmed this morning that
Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dillon Gabriel are all not going to play. Of course, the idiots that were getting worked up about them signing Tyler Huntley, which we talked about yesterday.
I didn't get that either. It
was so bizarre. Well, because there was this idea, I guess, that he was going to take reps away from...
you guys talk about it. We don't have to get
You can't have Shedeur play an entire preseason game. And he's a little banged up, too. So the idea that they were going to play him for an entire preseason game is silly.
Like, guys got hurt. You had to sign somebody.
Of course.
Why is that a big...
fans getting upset is one thing. I saw a couple of media members talking about it. I was like, this is nuts.
I called Zach yesterday. I'm like, hey, like, seriously, what am I missing?
Yeah.
And he said, like, it's more of the spectacle that they have 5 quarterbacks on the roster.
Sure,
now they have to go and it's the Browns being the Browns.
And it's easy to pick on the Browns.
They're an easy punchline.
Yes.
But when 2 of your quarterbacks go down and you're not going to play Flacco in the open, like, what are you going to do? You got to sign somebody. Like, I thought it was really overblown and much about nothing.
He's going to be here for a couple of weeks. When they all get healthy, probably he's going to be gone, and that's going to be that.
I saw a clip of Dustin talking on your show, and I thought he was great. Like, it's a win-win for both sides.
Of course. You're right. He's going to get an opportunity. Maybe somebody will pick him up as a second or third quarterback because he plays in this preseason game. And for them, they know him. He knows them. They know him. He was here last camp.
Although I don't know how much this playbook resembles last year's playbook.
True, but at least he has a little bit of a relationship, some familiarity. So it's better than signing a guy off the street who's never been here.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. So, but obviously Shedeur is going to play, you would think, at least 2.5 quarters of this game.
Yeah.
I would think.
About a half,
right?
maybe a little more.
And then Huntley will play. But today we found out that Joe Flacco was going to take, I don't know about all the first-team reps, but the majority of the first-team reps in practice. So, of course, that stirs controversy. Well, why are you not giving Shedeur the first reps if he's playing in the preseason game? I think I know the answer, but go ahead, guys, if you want to jump in first here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's crazy that Shedeur's going to start the game on Friday and not get the majority of the first-team reps today in joint practice, because when Kevin Stefanski and the Browns organization are looking at this big picture, this is a chance to see Joe in the first-team offense, which will most likely be your starting quarterback in Week 1 when the games actually count in the standings against the number 1 caliber defense in Carolina, as opposed to Shedeur, who's going to get the start on Friday. And I'm thrilled to see what Shedeur can do against Carolina's ones, because Dave Canales, their head coach, did say the starters were going to play a series or two in each of the first 2 preseason games. But Flacco should be getting the majority of the reps against the ones in joint practice, because those are the reps that he needs to get ready for the actual regular season. Joe could sit out a random Tuesday in July, miss a couple drills in training camp, give the reps to the other guys, but these joint practices, there's only 3 of them. Joe's not going to play in the preseason. These are his meaningful reps.
Well, I don't know that he did.
Well, at least on Friday. He's not playing this Friday.
I think he probably.
I think he'll play.
He'll play the second game.
I meant this Week 1 preseason game, whereas Shedeur is going to get all those meaningful reps. So when you're trying to divvy it up, Shedeur is going to end up with more overall reps, considering he's going to play, in my opinion, about a half, maybe even a little more football, and Joe Flacco's not going to be in uniform on Friday. But for this particular joint practice, it's about getting your team ready for Week 1 of the regular season, not necessarily Week 1 of the preseason. And Week 1 of the regular season, I'd be shocked if Joe Flacco isn't the starting quarterback.
I don't understand how we got to the point where there has to be a good guy and a bad guy in everything. Like, it can't just be, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
the Browns are always the bad guy.
Yeah,
the Browns are always the bad guy in this, and they're setting up.
A lot of it they've caused this.
They invited. I said the other day they invited this in when they did what they did at the draft. But like, okay, so because I was thinking yesterday, well, Shedeur has to start, right? Shedeur has to start the game, and then I heard Mary Kay say, maybe you start Huntley because you don't want to throw Shedeur in against the ones when he hasn't had those reps yet. So let Huntley take the brunt of it almost as a sacrificial lamb. Mm-hmm. And then when Carolina pulls its starters, then you can put Shedeur in. I thought, all right, that makes a little bit of sense. But for all the people that are screaming about Shedeur and you're setting him up to fail, and I heard Louis Riddick is so clouded on this because of his relationship with Deion. Like, every day he gets on and screams about how the Browns are setting up Shedeur to fail. I'm like, would you be saying that about Riley Leonard in Indianapolis if the Colts were starting him? Would you be saying that about Kyle McCord if he was starting? Would you be saying that about Quinn Ewers if the Dolphins were starting?
What I don't get about that is the complaint's been he's not getting any opportunities.
Now he's getting an opportunity.
They're not rushing him.
Now he's getting the opportunity.
And
now you haven't prepared him for it.
It's bad either way. I don't understand.
Can you imagine had they started Tyler Huntley?
Oh
what the cries would be of, look, he still can't even get the opportunity. And now he is going to start. And if he doesn't play well, it's, you set him up to like, the Browns can't win under any circumstance, no matter what they do. And for the record, I hope the kid goes out and balls. I want to see him play incredibly well. I want to see him grab hold of this job and never let go for the next 15 years. Like, that's what I think the Browns would love to see that. I think fans would love to see that. I think we would love to see that. We would love to see this kid take hold of the opportunity.
The show would go to the moon if that happens.
But I'm like, I don't understand how we've got to the point where everything the Browns, and listen, for 25 years, the Browns made a lot of mistakes. But I do understand how they've brought him along the way that they have. It does make sense to me. And I don't see anyone else saying that Kyle McCord was set up to fail, or Quinn Ewers has been set up to fail, or Riley Leonard, or any of these. He was a 5th-round draft pick. They're treating him like a 5th-round draft pick throughout the early parts of camp. That's all this is. But people just want to make this into more than what it is, and it's just like, man, no matter what happens.
I hadn't heard Louis Riddick. What has he specifically said? What's his example of the Browns are setting him up to fail?
He said he's not getting any first-team reps. He hasn't had many reps at all in training camp.
Yeah.
They're going to put him in against the Carolina defense and expect him to play to a certain level. And because he hasn't had the reps in camp and the reps in practice with the reps with the guys he may be playing with on Friday, he's being put in a position to fail.
I don't see. First of all, what other choice do the Browns have? All their other quarterbacks are hurt.
That's exactly it.
They have no other choice. Would Louis Riddick be happy, as you said, if Tyler Huntley just played the whole game and Shedeur came in late? First of all, it's not like the Panthers are that good a team. Right. It's not like you're playing like a top.
You're not playing the Eagles next week,
right? And the
Eagles starters.
And the Panthers' first-team defense is going to play what, 1 or 2 possessions?
Probably.
So let's say Shedeur doesn't play well. Any rational person is not going to write him off based on a couple of series in the preseason.
Of course.
I get we deal with irrationality a lot, but like I just said yesterday, and everybody should feel this way, even though I know it won't be the case. I am not going to overreact to how Shedeur Sanders plays, good or bad.
I said that Monday.
It's crazy one way or the other. If he stinks, I'm not overreacting. If he's great, I'm not overreacting. I'm telling you that. I know some people will. A lot of people will. One way or the other. I'm not going to be one of them.
I said Monday, when there's no emotion involved, let's get this out now. I remember when Brady Quinn went and balled out in the preseason.
DTR.
What good did that do?
Nothing.
But if he plays poorly, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world either.
Yeah.
I
remember the first preseason I know he's not a quarterback, but the first preseason in the NFL, there was a whole hubbub about Jamar Chase having bad hands and dropping a lot of footballs.
Oh, wow.
Cam Newton had one of the worst preseasons I could ever remember. People were saying, this dude can't even throw the football.
Right.
And then in the first 2 weeks of the real
Put
season,
up huge numbers.
He set the rookie. I think it's been broken since, but he threw for more passing yards than any other rookie ever. When I think of Shedeur, though, getting the start here, guys, and in practice today, in the game on Friday, whatever happens later, sometimes you just need that opportunity, right? And there are certain players, quarterbacks kind of elevate to another level, but in any position, some guys are just gamers. It doesn't really matter who they're playing with, who they're playing against, whether they're with the first stringers, whether they're with the third stringers, whether they're throwing to equipment managers. They are of the caliber of player that raises the bar of everyone else around them. And we'll find out, not definitively, not conclusively, but to a certain extent if Shedeur has that kind of makeup, where it doesn't really matter if he's playing with the 2s and 3s against Carolina's 1s, or if he's playing with the 3s and 4s against Carolina's 2s. If he is able to, and once again, it's just one opportunity. He's going to get more down the road, but this is a chance for him to come out and show, hey, I'm a baller. I'm a gamer. This is what I do. I've played quarterback at a high level my entire life, going back to high school, to Jackson State, to Colorado, to now in Cleveland. You put me on the field when the lights are the brightest, when it's game time, when it's go time, I produce, I give you results, and I score points. And I'm excited to see what he can do on Friday night.
We've become a country of conspiracy theories and agendas, and it's also frustrating. There is no. Why would the Browns be trying to set up Shedeur Sanders to fail?
Were you on the show when we did that topic? Were you on that day?
No, I don't think he was.
You must. We did a whole topic on that.
Like why? So does somebody have a good reason why the Browns want him to fail?
There is no logical reason.
That doesn't make any sense
traded
whatsoever.
Up for him. They literally traded up in the draft.
I don't understand why anybody would suggest that. To me, that's your own agenda, not the agenda of the Browns. And again, I have no problem ripping the Browns to shreds. I've done it a million times.
We all have. We all have.
It's in this case, I mean, I just don't see what the issue is here. Of course, Joe Flacco's getting the reps today because the overall preseason, as you said, Mike, is about getting ready for the season, not getting ready for a preseason game. And Joe Flacco is, I've said all along, should be the starter. I know there was some, possibility that Kenny Pickett was. The injury seems to have put that, and that's why Joe Flacco is getting, because those practice reps for him are more important than game reps. And you don't want a 40-year-old quarterback taking hits. So you're going to play him as little in the preseason as possible, but he still needs to get ready. He'll be taking the first reps probably against Philly next week in the scrimmages, and then he'll play in the game probably a little, but not a lot, And then Shedeur will play next week. Maybe Dillon Gabriel will play next week. If he's healthy, maybe Pickett will play next week. I don't know. But, man, not every single decision has to be a hidden agenda on everything. And Shedeur Sanders seems perfectly fine. He has a good attitude.
He was thrilled about getting this opportunity.
I don't know. Maybe behind the scenes he's annoyed at how things have gone. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it in any way.
I've heard nothing, not a peep about that.
So I don't know why everybody else is worked up if he's not worked up. Yeah. He's getting this. To me, if I were him, I'd be thrilled that I'm getting to play in this preseason game.
And
I wouldn't be thinking of it as a negative. That's silly.
No, he's getting a chance to go against ones. If he goes out and, people are going to overreact. And, Bull, you're right. We should not overreact, good or bad, to whatever happens on Friday. We should not.
Right.
People will.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We will. I know you say you won't.
I won't. I will not.
You are you.
I'm going to be called a hater because I'm going to be neutral about it.
I know.
Unless he stinks, and then
Even if he stinks.
But
you'll still be called a hater because
saying
you are
if he stinks, I won't be a hater because I'll be neutral about it.
But my point is, this is an opportunity. Like, this is what you want as a 5th-round draft pick. And I know his name is Shedeur Sanders, and I know he comes with all the fanfare, and he's had a great college career, and he's got...
Doesn't matter. He's got his opportunity. That's all that matters.
He's a 5th-round pick starting a preseason game with an opportunity to show what he can do against Carolina's #1 defense in a couple series, and then their number 2s. How many 5th-round picks? We could go to Riley Leonard, Kyle McCord, Will Howard, all those late-round quarterbacks that were drafted in the same range and/or later than Shedeur are getting that opportunity.
I don't know.
To put
Are
it
any of
on
them?
tape. I don't know.
None that I know of.
I'm just speaking out loud here.
I have no idea.
That are going to get that opportunity in week 1 of the preseason to put what they can do on tape to be evaluated and then move forward when, guess what? He's getting this opportunity and Dillon Gabriel's not. Right? Like, Shedeur can't, in theory, Shedeur can't fall down the depth chart any further. He's already the 4th quarterback in terms of how they're putting their reps together. It's Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel, and Shedeur. If he plays well, he can only elevate his status within the Browns locker room. Right? Like, there's no... I don't want to say there's no downside because if he plays terrible, then obviously people will overreact. But he can't go down. He
that's not real. That's not downside because that's all noise from the outside. Nobody cares about that.
The Browns aren't going to overreact.
That's what I'm saying. Like he can only move up. This is only a chance.
So that's what I don't understand. So I mean, Louis Riddick's been around the league forever. He should know better.
But that's what I'm saying. He's
real tight with Dion.
He's got a very close.
But what I'd like to know is, let's say Shedeur stinks in this game.
Yeah.
What is that like? Does that ruin his career?
No.
Of course not.
No.
If there a lot of people out there want him off the Browns anyway, so maybe that'll lead to him being off. It won't, but maybe if anything, you should be happy about that because maybe it leads to him getting off the Browns. The Browns are people that are in football understand, and Louis Riddick should certainly understand this, that we're not going to make as an organization sweeping judgments on a quarterback based on one preseason game. The Browns are aware that he hasn't had much opportunity with the first team. That will be taken into account when they evaluate him.
Lewis has been around the NFL long enough. He understands how many reps the 4th quarterback gets.
Yeah.
It's not many. It's the way it's been in the NFL forever.
That's it.
The thing I keep seeing is people want a fair competition. Well, fair does not mean equal. Everyone thinks fair means equal. Fair does not mean equal. When you're the 4th quarterback, you don't get the same reps that the 1st quarterback does. That's just the reality of the NFL and where things stand. So he has been treated fairly because he's been treated as the 4th-string quarterback, which is what he is. Now he has this opportunity to go out this weekend and change that.
And speaking of opportunities, shout out to Anthony Lima, who did a little digging here and pulled a great stat. These are quarterback attempts in preseason games under Stefanski. And historically speaking, he has let his quarterbacks throw the ball quite a bit in preseason games. Mm-hmm. In 4 starts, DTR 18, 17, 20, and 25. 2 games for Huntley, 20 and 22. Kellen Mond, 24 passes. Dobbs, 20 and 20. Josh Rosen in that one preseason game, he played 20. Jacoby Brissett, 23. Kyle Lauletta.
Josh Rosen set up to fail?
23.
He was set up to fail.
22 and
the Browns are anti-Semitic.
17 and 19. There's a chance we see Shedeur throw 20 passes in the first half against Carolina. That is 20 passes of game tape that the Browns will help use to evaluate whether or not Shedeur should get more reps and move up the path. Like, it is a terrific, incredible opportunity in front of Shedeur Sanders. And going back to what I said earlier, some guys are just built for the moment. Some guys are and some guys aren't, right? Yeah. We've seen the guys who have all the fanfare, have all the hype. They get in the game, and guess what? They look like a deer in headlights. This is a chance for Shedeur to prove he's built for these kind of moments. And it really doesn't matter who he's playing with. Great quarterbacks elevate everyone else around him. It's time to see if Shedeur can do that.
Yeah, I think you're a little over the top here with what he can do in a preseason game, but all right, that's fine. Now, you got another read here, Earl, before we get to the second part of Browns practice topic?
Just some things to add.
Yeah.
I'm searching Twitter looking for
hold on.
Things that's being said.
Your headphones on your crown?
Yeah, I know.
Look fire.
Zach Jackson tweeted out a few more snaps for Flacco. Now Huntley is in. I just don't get it. Even Allen Iverson would admit that this is important. That this is an important practice. It is important to note that Daniel Oyefusi tweeted out the first set of, I guess, the team drills. Flacco went first, Shedeur second, Huntley went third. So I guess they're going back through the cycle, and I assume Flacco went first and Huntley went second.
Okay. How does this person know that Huntley went second?
This is Zach Jackson.
It's Zach.
This is Zach Jackson.
There.
Oh, Zach said it? I thought you said this other person said it.
The other person is Daniel Oyefusi. He's there too.
No.
Daniel,
did one of them? I thought you were okay. I misunderstood. I thought you were reading a message from a
Zach
fan.
Jackson.
What's that?
Zach Jackson tweeted that.
Okay. Zach Jackson said that Tyler Huntley took second team reps.
Yes, but it's just a vague tweet. A few more snaps for Flacco.
Yeah.
Now Huntley is in. I just don't get it. Even Allen Iverson would admit this is an important practice.
And that was Zach Jackson that said that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mike,
well.
you can check your phone.
I'm looking at it right now. Zach said.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
he said
fair.
Sanders got 4 snaps, 2 throws behind the second offensive line. Flacco back in, and then Huntley went in. Second time through 7-on-7, it went Flacco, Gabriel, Pickett, Huntley. Sanders did not do that 7-on-7 drill, according to Zach Jackson. And then first 7-on-7, Pickett went first for the Browns. Then Sanders got 3 throws. Then Gabriel got 5. Sanders went 2 of 3, both to Florida. Gabriel went 4 for 5, and the one miss was a drop. So we'll have a better understanding of how this kind of parsed itself out and how the reps were divvied up when we're not reading Twitter in the middle of the TV show trying to decipher a couple of tweets.
Well, listen, we were just defending the Browns, and the fact that Zach is saying, what's going on here, that to me is meaningful.
What did Mary Kay say on this situation?
I don't know why I thought when Earl first read that, I thought he was doing some random
Mary Kay's only
Twitter.
tweeted once at practice. She said in 7-on-7s, Pickett went 3 for 4 with a throwaway. Sanders went 1 for 3 with a throwaway. Gabriel 4 for 5 with a drop. Flacco didn't do the first round of 7-on-7s. And that is all she has tweeted from practice. And there's no video at practice today.
Right.
So if you're expecting video clips, you will not get any video clips. The Panthers do not allow video at practice.
This is weird, though.
What? I'm still not totally following what he's saying.
So the second time through 7-on-7 was Flacco, Gabriel, Pickett, Huntley.
Flacco, Gabriel.
No Sanders.
Pickett, Huntley.
Why would you do that?
No, I don't know. I don't get that.
All this defending of the Browns we've been doing, listen, that is silly. I don't understand
12
that.
minutes ago, I'm reading now Daniel Oyefusi of ESPN from 12 minutes ago. 11-on-11, Flacco up with the starting offense. Next tweet, Sander up next with the 2s in 11-on-11. That was from 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
That's where he went 1 for 3. Incomplete pass, short to Bates was broken up. Marshall run got called back for holding. Williams short run right side. Short completion to Sal Cannella on the drag route. So Sanders did go second in the 11-on-11s. Huntley went with the 3s.
That makes sense.
And then putting the pieces together, reading a Twitter timeline, then Zach Jackson was tweeting about 7-on-7s.
Right.
And that's what
they did 4 sets of 7-on-7s, and Shedeur didn't take any of them, which is weird.
All right, let's see the rest of practice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Yeah, it is.
And Zach is saying, what do you call it? He said,
it's tough to do this reading off a phone trying to
Right.
We will dive into this more
He
tomorrow.
said a few more snaps for Flacco, now Huntley's in. We read this before.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. So, Zach, he's got his finger on the pulse better than anybody there.
Yeah, I agree.
So, that is weird.
So let's
But we got to see the rest of it play out and find out why.
Yeah.
Who knows? There might be a legitimate reason for it.
I mean, Huntley's got to take snaps at some point. He's got to play in this game Friday. He came in off the street. So you got to get Huntley some sort of rep somewhere. But yes, Shedeur should be taking, if he's not taking starters reps, he should be with the backups, which it sounds like he was in the 11-on-11s.
Right. Because he's mostly going to play with the backups.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to play with the 2s. Because the starters, on the offensive line, who's going to start the game?
Well, Stefanski said he'd give us a little more information on that later. So
do we think any of the offensive linemen are going to play?
Joel's not going to start.
Wyatt won't start.
Conklin's not going to start. Wyatt's probably not going to. Although, no, they're not. Yeah. They probably will start the entire. Well, I don't know.
DeWand, will he play?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might start your entire because if you're playing your starting quarterback, you're playing your starting offensive line. But the Browns are not playing their starting quarterbacks. So they may not play any starters on the offensive line.
All right, more sabotage information. There you go. Go ahead, Earl.
All right, we'll get into the other specifics that's going on with the Cleveland Browns and the Carolina Panthers during practice after another word from Yahoo Fantasy letting you know that this episode It's presented by Yahoo Fantasy. Fantasy football is back. Fire up the group chat. Get your draft board ready and buckle up for a season filled with breakouts, busts, and all the overreactions we live for. It's all going down on Yahoo Fantasy. This year, me and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show are playing on Yahoo Fantasy, and you should be too, whether you're a first-timer or a veteran making your millionth league. To celebrate 28 years of fantasy greatness, Yahoo Fantasy is dropping 28 big new features over 28 days, giving you more ways to play, more ways to draft, and more ways to win. It all begins on August 4th. Stay tuned and get started by creating or joining a Yahoo Fantasy League at yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. That's yahoofantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. And let's make this fantasy season the best one yet.
Oh, yeah, that guy does look like Jason in that video. All right. So, joint practice against the Panthers. People always ask the question, is it beneficial? It seems pretty obvious that it is beneficial. You don't want it to get out of control. There always seems to be a fight. There was a punch thrown already. A fight thrown in the practice today. It is interesting.
I didn't see that. Already?
Zach tweeted about it. Yeah.
They just got off the bus.
They're only doing one practice. Usually in these things, just like with Philadelphia next week, it's two. It's a little odd that they're doing the one. I wonder why. Why didn't they just go a day earlier?
I don't have a great answer other than maybe they didn't want to do 2 this week and 2 next week.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. You don't usually do 2 joint practices.
Yeah.
So maybe they felt like they only needed the one day.
Yeah. I don't know if Carolina's doing a one next week. I don't know.
I
haven't looked.
Is Bryce Young expected to play in this game?
Yeah, Canales said their starters are playing.
Okay.
He didn't say how much, but he said our starters are playing first 2 weeks.
I'm fascinated by him going into the season to see how good he is because I think he's going to take a big jump.
You and me are on the same page.
Yeah, I'm really high on him. But I think there are a lot of benefits to this. First of all, you get sick of just messing with your own guys, and the practices are a little obviously you don't mess with the quarterbacks, but they're way more physical than when you're practicing against your own teammates.
Well, you get more out of this than you do the preseason game because the starters are going.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
And it's coaches will tell you it's a controlled environment.
Yep.
So you can throw the quarterback out there and know he's not going to get in danger, whereas in a game you can't really protect him, which is part of the reason I think Dillon and Kenny may participate today, but not tomorrow.
Well, they are. Yeah.
But not tomorrow because you can't protect him in a live game, obviously.
Right.
But you can sort of put guardrails on them for this. So, yeah, it's an opportunity for your ones to go against their ones. And, of course, there's a risk for injury. There is anytime you put a helmet on. But you can just control the environment a little bit more than you can in actual games. So I know this has become more and more popular with NFL teams, these joint practices, and the coaches feel like they're very beneficial. And you get a lot out of them that you don't get. If you had to grade them, they would put this over the games, which is why we said on Monday, even before all this came out, the next 2 weeks are huge for all these Shedeur, not just Shedeur, for all these guys. The next 2 weeks are going to go a long way in determining how the season at least starts. I won't say how the whole season goes, but how the season opens.
And I want to, these are good opportunities to see, we've talked so much about the quarterbacks, but there's a lot of other rookies on this team that I think we're all interested in trying to start to find out how good they are.
The Browns fans are going to fall in love with Carson Schlesinger. When you see this dude play. He is a missile with a helmet. He plays with his hair on fire. He's 110 miles an hour every single play. I think he's a dude that fans are going to love this kid very quickly.
Plays like JOK, but he's bigger.
Yeah.
Noticeably bigger. And you know who's the most excited person to be having a joint practices today? DeJuan Jones. Because that means he's not lining up
have to go against
Myles Garrett all throughout
Everything
practice.
else is easier.
But in all seriousness, the premise of these joint practices is to see who you have going against someone who they're not going up against for the 50,000th time in the camp. At some point, Mason Graham versus Wyatt Teller, Joe Bitonio, and these simulated drills, you want to kill each other because you're constantly hitting each other, going up against each other. But B, you learn people's tendencies. You kind of know what to expect in certain drills. You can take half speed and go half-assed in certain situations because this isn't that important. They're focusing on something else. In these joint practices, you're trying to – it's like a real game scenario. Right. We're going 100%. You don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want to be the person, the left tackle for Carolina today who's now saying, there's a chance that I might have some pretty terrible tape having to block Myles Garrett out. Pride comes on the line, and it's not a real game. But I do think it simulates as close to a real game as you can. And when they do the one-on-ones, and I'll go back and what happens in these one-on-ones doesn't indicate any future success or future failure. I'll go back to last year when they had the joint practice against Justin Jefferson and the Minnesota Vikings. And there were those 2 reps in the red zone of MJ completely putting the clamps on Justin Jefferson. And we were like, oh.
That told you how meaningless those are.
But
yeah,
obviously Jefferson went on to have an incredible season. MJ did not have a great season.
Yeah.
Like, those are the drills you kind of live for as a player. Like, that's a chance to go one-on-one against their best. And say, F you, or look at me, like, look what I can do.
Obviously, Justin Jefferson was not taking it as seriously as MJ Emerson.
But for MJ, like, and I know he didn't have the season he wanted, but, like, that's a hell of a rep. And that's a hell of a play to have on tape that, once again, does not translate to the regular season. But you can go back and practice? Like, no, I'm saying this wrong. I'm saying this.
You're grasping for straws here. He helped build his confidence, maybe. It didn't work out, but in the moment it helped build his confidence.
It could elevate you to a status mentally to where if I could do this against Justin Jefferson in a practice in a one-on-one, I should be able to carry that over into a game situation.
He got too cocky off of
now,
that.
It didn't work. That situation obviously didn't pan out, but these joint practices are cool.
They're good opportunities. It's really a shame that the whole Judkins situation, because I really thought he would hit the ground running.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting him to have a monster season as a rookie.
They were too.
Yeah, and now it's just like, I like the other kid, but
Samson?
The backfield just kind of feels like nothing now.
I would say see Mason Graham in live drills against another team's offensive line.
And Fannin, I'm curious. Like the Browns have a lot of interesting rookies that have potential to be impact players right away. From Schlesinger, could have been Judkins, certainly Mason Graham.
They're going to start 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, Fannin will get his opportunities.
Have the biggest impact of all the rookies from the class. Like,
what's
immediately.
that?
I think 49, Carson Schlesinger, I think he's going to have the biggest impact right away.
He's good. He's good. Like, well, he looks good is what we should say. But you talk to anyone, real quick, you talk to anyone in Berea, and Jason, I'm sure you could attest to this, they freaking love this kid.
Yeah, well, Jason was just talking about it. I mean,
they can't sing his praises loudly enough, and they had opportunities to trade out of the 33rd pick. And they rejected those trade calls.
Yeah.
And they took an off-ball linebacker with the first pick in the 2nd round with an offense that has holes all over because they identified Carson Schlesinger as someone they thought they could help build a defense around. And it's early
now, they
in
don't
camp.
have a good track record of
no, they don't.
finding talent, but hopefully they'll finally get it right here. But I mean, ultimately, I expect, obviously not statistically because of the position he plays, but Mason Graham better make the biggest impact.
Yeah.
He was drafted 5th overall. 4th? 5th?
5th.
He better make the biggest impact.
It's just so hard to grade or to
watch. Yes.
Who's watching the defensive tackles?
But when the Browns are studying the film, he better be making a big impact.
Yeah.
Because he was drafted 5th.
Yeah.
Not 33rd, not 35th, 5th.
And when
you're expected to be a superstar.
When fans go to look at the box score, you're not going to find him.
No.
So it's so hard.
Right. In terms of the box score, you might see Schlesinger with 12 tackles, and you could hang your hat on that. But, you're going to see Mason Graham maybe with, like, 2 tackles or 3 tackles, and you're going to be like, what the hell did we draft him for? You know?
We have to find, as a society, a better way. Because people aren't ever going to, like, go, as a whole society, big picture, they're not going to go back and watch the tape and study the offensive line. Like, it's just never going to happen, defensive line, offensive line play. There has to be some sort of stat we could come up with to help quantify. In a box score.
Pass rush win rate?
It's too advanced.
I mean, what simple stat can you have for this?
That's what I'm saying. We got to come up with in a society so when we come back on a Monday, we can look at Mason Graham and whatever the arbitrary number is and say, oh, he had 8 of those?
Yeah.
He had a good game. He only had 2 the next week?
I think we're that easy. We'd already have it.
We got to be better as a society. I'll try to think of something.
You're right. I mean, I wish there was some better way to quantify how good.
Well, that was the whole birth of PFF, was it not? To try and
right
for stuff like that. Even though I think I've said many times I think PFF is fraudulent.
I don't think it's fraudulent. I think it's flawed, just like anything else. Yeah. I think fraudulent's too strong. I think it has just like anything else, just like any other stat. There's strengths and weaknesses to it. But there are times where you're like, how is that possible with those numbers? Maybe it's, we're not paying close enough attention. I don't know.
I will say, like, PFF is the reason I take a second look at Isaiah McGuire. I never would take another look at Isaiah McGuire, right? I don't know. Because all we do, again, it goes back to this defensive end. Are they getting after the quarterback?
Yeah.
And McGuire's big strength is against the run.
Setting the edge, yeah.
And so that's one of those things where when PFF grades him so highly, it's like, okay, I want to watch Isaiah McGuire on this play because what's he doing?
Right. I don't pay any much attention to PFF in terms of the skill position players. But when it comes to defense and it comes to offensive linemen, there's not much to, unless you're going to watch every play in a game for all these other, like, if I'm going to say, this offensive lineman's great, well, I don't know. I'm not watching other offensive linemen on other teams. How do I know how he stacks up? So, it's not perfect.
Jason, I got a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
I was listening to Kevin Stefanski's press conference. So, about a week ago, they did live tackling for the first time since he's been a head coach of this team. And he mentioned during his, pre-practice press conference that this week 1 joint practice ahead of a week 1 preseason game is the first time that the Browns have done anything like this as well under his tenureship. What's just some of your thoughts on some of the new wrinkles that we have seen Kevin Stefanski's approach to going into his 5th season as the Browns head coach?
Necessary and welcome changes. I thought last year was a country club environment. There was hardly any hitting. They were not ready for the start of the season. And as I talked to guys as last season went on and when things really unraveled, some of the players were very honest with me and said the Dallas game in particular, like, we knew we were screwed going into that game. We knew we were not ready for that game. And it kind of went the way that we were anticipating it to go. So you have to play football to get ready to play football. You have to practice football. You have to practice tackling in order to tackle. So, he's been here for a while now, obviously. Year 6 for him? 5, 6?
This is 6.
So, but, I've talked about it before, particularly with GMs. The longer you do something, the better you get at it. This is the first time he's ever been a head coach. So he's had 5 years now. He's tried it one way. He's evolving as a coach. He's evolving. We saw him last year give up play calling and go a different tact. And so I think that he is open to trying different things, and I think this was necessary. You have to hit. There's always an injury risk, always. It's a violent sport. You're playing a violent game. But you still have to prepare these guys for the road ahead. And last year I thought they did a poor job of preparing them. And I think they'll admit to you they did a poor job of preparing them. So get a little bit more physical this year. Tackle earlier on. Tackle here before game 1. It doesn't mean you're going to run them into the ground. We're not going back to 2-a-days with full pads, 6-hour practices or anything like that. But you've got to get these guys ready to play. And they didn't do that last year.
It's odd that we're in our montage of pictures. We have pictures of him talking to Deshaun Watson, of all people.
And Deshaun's there.
Yeah, right.
Like, now you show up.
Yeah, right.
And now
we don't
are
have
those old pictures, or that's
old. That's
old.
That's all.
Well, it's from last year. Yeah, we don't have.
But Deshaun's in Carolina. He went to Carolina.
Yeah.
Why?
Couldn't be bothered last year when you were rehabbing, but now you want to be back.
That's weird. To your point, and final thought on this. One of the good things about having a coach for a long time is that if they're good, they learn from their mistakes.
Yep.
Right? And so you have an opportunity to get better and grow. And Kevin Stefanski has that opportunity now. And you're right. I mean, I thought his camps were always kind of soft, but last year, by all accounts, it was a new level of softness.
Yeah.
And so
And they had a lot of injuries last year early in camp. I think that's worth pointing out. And when I say the players knew they weren't ready, I think a lot of that goes back to they were installing a new offense. It was a disaster.
And they didn't trust Watson, a lot of the guys.
Yeah, I think that there was a lot of questions about him. The offensive line play, or the offensive line coach, was not good.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that they were prepared going into the season for a variety of reasons. It wasn't just that they weren't hitting. It's a lot deeper than that.
Sure, no doubt. All right, let's switch it up. Talk some baseball. But first, we'll hear from Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, this next segment is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the greens, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make everything in the game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started.
So before we get into what happened yesterday and the Guardians in general, it's interesting. Yesterday we had a conversation, Jason, who is the biggest disappointment, I think it was, on the Guardians. And Tyvis, no, Tyvis wasn't here.
Earl, you, and G.
Oh, yeah, right. Earl said
Stephen
Vogt. G. Bush said who did
Nolan Jones.
Nolan Jones.
You forgot all of these.
I'm having a brain fart here.
You said Tanner Bybee.
And I said Tanner Bybee, which I think are all good choices. But somebody actually, I think, sent us a tweet yesterday and said,
LFG
you guys
Max.
all got it wrong. It should have been Emmanuel Clase.
Well, yeah.
I hadn't really thought about it, but he's right.
It's Clase.
But it, obviously, it's but from an on-field perspective, including the manager, I mean, who would be yours besides Clase?
I think I have to agree with you. I think it's Bybee only because of the expectations that were set for him, and I think he's been tinkering with pitches this year. I think he's been tinkering with arm slot.
Yeah.
I still have high expectations for him. Like we talk about all the time, part of the beauty of baseball is the variance to it, and great players can have bad years.
Yep.
And I think, and I'm not ready to put him in a classification of being a great player.
Sure, but he's been good so far.
He's been good.
Yeah.
And this year he's taken a step back.
Yeah.
And because of the expectation, I mean, he was supposed to be the opening day starter.
Right.
Before he got food poisoning, he was supposed to be the guy because of, obviously Shane rehabbing and everything else. Nolan Jones, I was excited about the trade. He was coming off a down year.
Yeah.
So did you really have high expectations?
I did. Not as high as Bybee, but
I did too. I expected him to be better than this.
Right.
But we're talking about the ace of the staff and the opening day starter.
Yeah. But if you would have told me at the beginning of the year he would have a lower slugging percentage than Miles Straw today.
And a lower OPS than Rocchio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the others receiving votes.
Yeah. But I didn't have my Bybee expectations were potentially all-star.
Yeah.
My Nolan Jones expectations were really good player.
Everyday player.
Yeah.
I mean, Nolan Jones is meddling. He's on the stand.
Yeah.
But I think it's got to be, unfortunately, because I've been really high on Bybee since his rookie year.
Right.
Gavin
Williams has obviously been better than him, but Ciccone and Logan Allen have been better than him too.
Ciccone's advanced numbers aren't great. I keep waiting for the bottom to fall out, but he keeps plugging right along.
But you kept saying that about Nolan Jones on the flip side, that Nolan Jones' advanced numbers were good and his actual box score stats are not.
And it never equal out. Yeah. Ciccone's the opposite of that.
Gavin Williams has quietly pitched pretty well.
He's been great the last month or so.
Yeah, and he's pitching this afternoon. It's actually a 1 o'clock start.
He was always ahead of Bybee on the prospect list, and he was always supposed to be better than Bybee. It's just taken him a little bit longer to figure it out.
Yeah.
Went through it last year with the pitch tipping and everything else, and he had the injuries. So it's just been sort of a slow grind for him to get here, but I think he's starting to figure it out and put it all together.
Yeah. I got to tell you guys, a month ago, obviously I had written off the team. I've been so down on them, more than I have been in a decade plus. But I'm conning myself into believing that they can make the playoffs now.
They're a game and a half out of the wild card.
I mean, if they make the playoffs, Slade Ciccone's a game one starter as far as I'm concerned. Maybe Gavin.
I would say Gavin.
Maybe Gavin.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see how they pitch.
I don't like their chances in the playoffs, but But I'm hoping my bold prediction before the season that the Yankees wouldn't make the playoffs turns out to be true. They are playing terrible baseball.
I was giddy watching them last night.
I love it.
Oh,
love it. Devin Williams, that guy was one of the best closers in baseball at Milwaukee.
He can't get out of New York fast
He's
enough.
awful.
And that's part of going from a small market to Milwaukee.
You never know how guys are going to react.
That's exactly
Jake
right.
Bird, who Colorado overused, gets traded to the Yankees. He had 70 strikeouts in his first 35 innings.
Now he's in AAA.
2 appearances, he got clobbered. He's back in AAA. Camellia, they got all these relievers, none of them are pitching well.
Yeah, they are. I think Boone gets fired soon if they don't turn this around.
I hope he doesn't because I love seeing them suck.
I don't know how he can keep his job right now.
He and Cashman should both be fired. But listen, for all the complaints I have of the Guardians, and I think they've all been fair. They're playing good baseball right now. Since that 10-game losing streak, they're 17-8.
They're 18-7 since the 10-game losing streak. They're 12-6 since the All-Star break, which is tied for the best record in the majors.
Right.
And about 2 weeks ago, they were completely out of the AL Central race. They're still 7 games back. But
the Tigers have not played well for a month.
They're at least kind of in it. And in the wild card, they're a game and a half back.
Yeah.
They are right in the thick of potentially making a playoff push here for a team that none of us have really been that high on all season because there's a number of reasons we haven't been that high on. The lineup still isn't producing at an incredible rate. They're getting better pitching from the starters. Logan Allen was really good last night again.
Yeah.
But going back to the Guardians' way, they just keep finding ways to win baseball games.
After he blew that first save, has been great. Got out of that. I thought the Mets blew it in the first game of this series, not sending Tyrone Taylor to try to score. I know it would have been close.
I didn't see that. I wasn't watching.
Doesn't matter. And then Kate Smith got out of that jam yesterday. He got the save again. And Hunter Gaddis is struggling. He is not pitching well.
Yeah.
So they're going to need some of these other young guys to kind of step up their game.
Nick Enright's got
what a great story.
That's a great story. Yeah. We didn't really talk about it yesterday.
Yeah. The guy survived cancer, and he got his first major league save in his 6th appearance or 7th appearance, something like that. So they're getting some good contributions. Obviously, Quan's playing great. Jose is just, he's Jose. He's just unbelievable. Manzardo's doing his thing. I think Kafis, in the few games we've seen him, has looked fine. We've got to see more, obviously. Yeah. One of the keys, though, has been all of a sudden the last few weeks, both Rocchio and Arias have started to hit.
Rocchio's got an OPS of like 800 since he's been back.
Yeah.
We did the topic.
And so now you're getting 2 spots because you're still getting nothing out of catcher and you're still getting nothing out of right field.
But you can survive nothing out of catcher.
Well,
if you're getting
right, and now that right now Arias and Rocchio are not 0, obviously his overall numbers are still horrible.
But real quick, Steve, pull that back up.
And I don't want to get carried away. Like
it's small.
He's not, but it's better right now.
But when you see his overall, he's hitting 231 now.
Yeah, which is still terrible.
Granted,
but it was a lot worse.
Because I update the graphics every day, right?
Yeah.
231 today. When he got called back up, he was hitting 177.
Yeah,
he's raised his batting average.
And at this point, it's hard to raise your batting average a lot.
He's up 50 points.
Right. Yeah.
He's been a very competent hitter.
Really good. Arias has been much better.
Arias
I still don't love either of them, but they're playing. They're at least playing like solid major leaguers right now. We'll see if they can keep it up. Rocchio makes me nervous though in the field. I don't know about you. There was a pop up in the 7th or 8th inning where. It was a pop-up like right near the pitcher's mound. Do you guys remember this? And like the shortstop's supposed to catch that every time.
Yeah.
And Rocchio didn't look confident. Ramirez, I'm sure, just said, get out.
Yeah.
And Ramirez caught the ball.
In game 1 or game 2? Because last night.
No, last night.
Didn't Rocchio play second last night? Arias was at short.
That's the way it's been.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. They've been playing Arias.
Oh, yeah. Then maybe it was Arias he told to get the hell out of there. But either way, the shortstop was supposed to catch it. And everybody else moved out of the way, and Jose got the ball.
I think they would rather Arias be the shortstop. He's got the better arm. He's got a hose for an arm.
Yeah.
They've wanted Arias to take hold of that job.
Right.
He's gagged it away every time they've tried to give it to him.
Right. He'll have a couple of good. And now we got to see again.
Yeah.
Because this is what he's done. He'll be hot for like 2-3 weeks, and then he stinks for a month.
Yeah.
You can't have that. You can't have it consistently. You can have a bad month in a season, but you can't have 3 bad months in a season.
Yeah.
Especially when your highs are not that high.
You got 5 ribbies a series.
I know it feels much longer than it's been, but it feels like for 5 years they've been trying to decide between Brian Rocchio and Gavin Arias.
Yeah. But this has been a good series because they've mostly played bad teams during the stretch.
I was going to say
But the Mets are a good team.
On the road?
It's a good series. They won the series. And the Mets, now sweep it. Get it done today.
And the Mets need it, too. Like, the Mets are right in the
they're battling.
And now they go back to the Chicagos and the Marlins and the Braves.
Although the Marlins are playing very well.
Marlins are hot right now.
Yeah, but...
No, they're playing well. They're right now, there's always some teams that are out of it that get some young players up and play well. They're playing great baseball right now.
Yeah.
The rest of the teams stink.
The Marlins just swept the Yankees last week.
Yeah. They did, right?
But
First
still,
time ever, by the way.
But still, the Guardians need to take 2 or 3.
They're not a great team. Yeah, they should. Right. If you're playing well too.
Yeah.
So take care of business there, and we'll see. The key's been the pitching. The starting pitching has been very good. Obviously, for the most part, the offense is if the Guardians score 4 or 5 runs, like most teams, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Problem is, for most of the year, they couldn't. Lately, they have been able to most nights, and so they're winning. And last night they were down 2-0. And they rallied and did a good job. And the Mets are good. They're one of the better teams. The American League, couldn't be more wide open.
Yep.
No.
Because for the first 2 months, the best teams were the Tigers, the Yankees, and the Astros. None of those teams are playing well.
Yeah.
Now the teams playing the best baseball in the American League are the Red Sox, the Guardians, and the Blue Jays. And I certainly don't buy into the Guardians as a World Series contender. I like the Blue Jays. I don't buy into the Red Sox. I don't like their pitching enough.
Jay and I picked the Mariners to win the World Series.
They're playing well. I mean, they could.
I like them. I really like watching them. Like I was on the A's earlier. That was my team to watch. Now I switched to
the cool thing, I mentioned this in our chat group yesterday. Josh Naylor has 19 stolen bases.
Yeah.
This isn't. He hit a home run last night, too.
15 minutes after
Real quick, would that be second on the Guardians right now?
19?
Yeah.
Stolen bases?
Yeah.
Might lead them. Who's got more?
Or we look at the stolen base leaders?
Jose's got more than 19.
Jose's probably got more. I don't know about Quan.
Quan, probably not.
I'm looking at stats.
I think he had 25 in his entire career before this year. It's crazy.
This is his Luka Doncic.
And he's been accurate. He's 19 out of 21.
It's Luka Doncic revenge tour of everyone called him fat and out of shape last year, so now he's going to...
Well, he's trying to get a contract, you know?
Yeah. So Jose has 32 steals this year.
Yeah.
Quan's second with 11.
Wow.
Josh Naylor has 8 more steals on the season than Jose. Than Stephen Quan, excuse me. And Schneeman's third with 8.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's funny. The Guardians have always been a good stolen base team, but it's only Jose, really. I mean, Quan's fine. That's
Quan is 11
he'll get 20 probably.
I kind of like Schneeman in the 2-hole lately. He's hitting much much better. He had a great weekend series. I know you're in and out, and Schneeman you're up and down.
More out than in.
Yeah, Schneeman's just not. I know his family is on social media, so I hate to be mean.
Why does that matter?
I don't know. I just feel bad about it because they seem like nice people.
Most families are on social media.
Daniel Schneeman's a great. To be in the major leagues is a great accomplishment.
Absolutely.
He is a major league player, but to me, he's a major league bench player.
Yes.
And
there's value to that because he can play literally every position on the field except pitcher and catcher.
He's a valuable guy, and he might get better, but I don't look at him as an everyday player.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's hot right now, though. I like him in the 2-hole.
Nah. You need a real two-hitter.
They don't have a real two-hitter.
No,
so of the options they have, when Schneeman's swinging the bat well,
I
kind of like him there. Gives a little balance to the lineup, too.
So we'll see if they can keep it going. The pitching matchup today, Gavin Williams against the Mets got a good starter going today,
Peterson.
right? Oh, yeah,
Daniel,
he's pitched
David,
very
David
well
Peterson.
Yeah. He's got a crazy good ERA.
A lot of day games today.
Moving day.
Getaway day.
Yep. Giants and the Pirates.
If Gavin can get his walks down, is that the one thing holding him back from being basically maybe not borderline elite, but borderline really, really good? Is that still the one main thing kind of holding him back?
Let's see his walk total.
Yeah.
I feel like the games he struggles are the games where he ends up walking 3 or 4 or 5 guys.
He's walked 62 in 116 innings. I mean, that's pretty bad.
I just feel like sometimes he gets into the same trap that Bybee falls into sometimes of trying to obsess over strikeouts, and they all are. Most pitchers do it these days. It's okay every once in a while, especially when your stuff's that good, to pitch to contact and get through the batters quicker on fewer pitches. His command escapes him at times, but I still think he's on the right track. I think he's been much better of late, and I think next year he could be the ace of the staff.
I think he tinkers too much.
Yeah.
And it's like, and you're right, there'll be a lot of innings where he'll get 2 outs and then he wants to strike out that last guy, and he's just got to create weak contact. That's what veteran pitchers do. That's the key.
I'd have to look at the numbers. It feels like he has a lot of 22, 23 pitch innings that could easily be 15, 16.
And
and that adds up.
Yeah. His FIP is 443, which means he's getting a little lucky. And his walk rate is the worst of his career. So he averaged, as a rookie in 23, averaged 4.1 walks per 9 innings. Last year was 3.8. And this year it's 4.8, which is that's really bad. It's got to be now.
But I wonder what
over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
I wonder what that is over the last month. You know what I mean? Because he's been
much
better over the last month.
So his last 5 starts, he has walked 13 batters in 30 innings. So it's a little better.
Yeah.
His last 3 starts, only 5 walks in 19 innings. That's significantly better.
Yeah.
If he can, in his last 3 starts, he has 5 walks and 22 strikeouts. He keeps up that kind of. he become an ace.
Yeah.
He keeps that. Now, who is it against? The Athletics, the Royals, and the Twins.
I mean, the A's have a good lineup. The A's aren't a good team, but they've got a good
you're right.
lineup.
The Royals do not. The
No.
Twins certainly don't at this point.
No.
And even the start before that, he faced the White Sox. So we'll see. But if he can get to a 4 instead of a 2-1 strikeout to walk, a 4-1, now we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're talking. He can get his ERA under 3 because now you're pitching an extra inning because you didn't use up the pitch count as much. That's why he's not able. And he's been going about 6 innings to start, which is fine. But I'd like to see him average closer to 7. That would he's a big enough guy. He should be a horse. He should be an ace with his stuff and his size.
Yeah.
All right, Earl, what do you got?
All right, good time to let everybody know, man. Make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, man. Smash the like button if you're watching the show today. And stay in tune with all of the Ultimate spinoff shows. Mike, you did an Ultimate Cavs show today. Make sure you catch the Ultimate Guardian show, the Ultimate Brown show with G. Bush. And make sure you tap in this Sunday for the 3rd straight Sunday edition of the Ultimate 216 show with me and Cecil Shorts. Joining us right now on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show is my homeboy, the host of the Locked On Browns podcast, Spencer German. Also, my co-host on 92.3 The Fan every Saturday morning on the Wake Up. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? Good to be here. How's everybody holding up?
Spencer, who's more likely to bring in coffee or beverages, you or Earl, on a Saturday morning?
That would probably be Earl. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't even pester Earl about that. But if it was going to be one of us, I think it would be Earl. I'm too out of it in the morning.
Major.
I'm not.
Coffee behind the glass right now.
All right.
I was going to say you would be the one to. You'd be like, hey, you want me to get you a drink on the way in? And I would completely blank on it. It's too early in the morning for me.
That's because Earl's got kids. He knows you got to be looking out.
He's got kids too.
Spencer's got kids?
I have one. But Earl's more experienced at this point.
22 years old. How old are you?
34.
You're 34? Not that that's old, but I thought you were much younger than that. All right. I'm out of the loop. Well, Earl's had kids longer, so there you go.
He's more seasoned. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's more seasoned in that type of situation. Go ahead, Mike.
Spence, Shedeur Sanders starting against Carolina Friday night. Go.
Yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to it. It might actually end up being the most watched Browns preseason game of all time, just based off of, we know the attention Shedeur obviously brings in from outside of Cleveland. Plenty of people following his story and following this Browns team just based off the fact that he plays here. I know I'm certainly looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be interesting because he once again today, it didn't sound like took any reps with the first team. I think they reserved most of those for Flacco. And so it sounds like he'll be out there with at least some of the starters on Friday. Not all of them. Kevin Stefanski said before practice that he's going to err on the side of playing or sitting most of the guys that are going to be your starters this season. I know he mentioned specifically like Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman won't be out there, which is kind of interesting because if you have Shedeur Sanders out there playing with the ones, you kind of want to see him go with his 2 best weapons in the passing game. So I found that kind of interesting. But certainly, listen, I've said it for a while now. We've kind of understood where this depth chart was at, that it's Flacco and Pickett in some order, and then Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I think there's something about Shedeur that I just think he's a gamer. I think when he gets out there, what we've seen in practice is one thing, but I think these preseason games are really his chance to shine, really his chance to show what he can do. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he really kind of just has that star power about him on the field that we saw in college, where when the lights are turned on, when he's going against another team, he's going to be his best. So whether he's going with the ones or a bunch of backups or whatever, and he is going to be playing against the Panthers ones because they've already said that they're going to play their starters for a little bit. I think it could be a really, really fun night for him and a chance to really maybe turn some heads and get the coaches giving him a little bit more opportunities.
Spencer, I know everybody wants to talk quarterbacks and it takes up a lot of the oxygen in the room, but just from a curiosity perspective, who else are you interested to see play Friday night?
Yeah, I'll start with the wide receiver room because, as I said, like Kevin mentioned today, they're not going to play Jerry Jeudy or Cedric Tillman. And somebody that I think has actually had a really strong camp is Jamari Thrash. And so seeing him get a chance to sort of run as a first teamer in this type of setting, I think is going to be interesting as he's kind of out there doing some different things and seeing if he can actually translate what he's shown at practice onto a field against another team. I think Deontay Johnson in that room is another guy people should be paying attention to because he has really stood out at camp, sort of scratching and clawing his way back into this league after how things went last year. And if he has a standout preseason as well to sort of accompany that, I think it's going to pave the way for him to see plenty of playing time this year and be an important piece on this offense. So certainly that room's going to be one that I have my eyes on. The running back group, what does Dylan Sampson look like in sort of the first competitive setting that they're going to play? I think any of the rookies make a ton of sense. Carson Schlesinger has been absolutely outstanding during training camp. And listen, that we all know, given that Jordan Hicks retired, that they're throwing a lot at him. They're putting a lot more on his plate. He's going to be wearing that green dot this year, it seems like. And I think in some ways, you don't want to lose Jordan Hicks, of course, but in some ways I think there's almost like a positive spin to it where getting a chance to see if he can handle all that at once, he's going to sort of grow pretty quickly here, have to grow up pretty quickly here. And I'm fascinated to see how he kind of translates to a preseason game as well. I don't know if Mason Graham's going to play. I'm assuming the rookies will get some playing time, at least somewhat, because they want to see all those guys out there. But obviously Mason, Harold Fannin Jr. is another guy, how they sort of utilize him in the offense. The list kind of goes on and on, but those are some of the key ones. I also am interested to see how the safety rotation sort of looks behind Grant Delpit, who I'm assuming won't play, and maybe Ronnie Hickman if he does play, because that's been a position, admittedly, I've caught glimpses of, but I haven't necessarily tracked exactly how they've sort of brought those guys in. So I'll be sort of watching that as well. And then I guess I'll give you one more in the form of that defensive end spot opposite of Myles Garrett, how they rotate those guys. I'm going to guess that when Kevin Stefanski says most starters won't play, I'm going to guess that doesn't include Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire. I think they'll give both those guys some reps on Friday to see just, if they can continue to build upon what they've done at training camp.
Yo, Spencer, you've seen pretty much every practice the Browns have had so far. Outside of Denzel Ward, of course, Martin Emerson Jr. is hurt. Just curious, on the scale of 1 to 10, what's your overall confidence level in the Browns DB group overall?
I think losing Martin Emerson obviously is a major blow to that for me. I still have some confidence in that group just in general when it's headlined, of course, by Denzel Ward. I probably put it at like a 7 to 7.5, if that makes sense. Like I probably would have been a little higher, especially with the way that group was playing to open up training camp. But I do think they take a little step backwards without Martin Emerson Jr., who I was expecting to have a bounce back season this year. And it's crazy. Like the day he got injured, he talked to us in the media, and he was talking about that. He was very adamant. Like, I know last year wasn't what I wanted to put on tape. I feel really good about coming out this year and proving people that I'm more of what I was 2 years ago. And so it was weird and kind of eerie that it happened the same day he sort of spoke on his bounce back season. But listen, I know there's been a lot of trade talks involving Greg Newsome, but having him and knowing you can bump him outside, I think is a nice luxury for this team. And so I think the lessened confidence comes from, okay, what are you going to do at the nickel spot? Who is going to be the guy that sort of mans that, or how are they going to handle that? And right now it looks like it's going to be sort of a rotation of different ideas. I think you're going to see Cameron Mitchell there a bunch, but also when the Browns run 3 safety looks, you could see like Ronnie Hickman step down or some of these other safeties step down as well. And so how they navigate that will be fascinating. I think that's what gives me a little bit of pause in thinking that they did take a pretty decent step back in losing Martin Emerson Jr.
Spencer, we see the quarterback stat tracker on social media after every practice, and one thing that you bring to the table right now that many of us don't is you're actually at every single open practice. You're obviously not in Carolina today. You're joining us. But when they're in Berea, you are there. So if you could run through quarterback by quarterback real quick, doesn't have to be a super long answer, but what have you seen, what have you liked, what have you disliked from each of the 4 guys competing to be the Browns QB1 in Week 1 against Cincinnati?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think Flacco got off to a little bit of a slow start. We'll just kind of go from like top to bottom on what I sort of picture the depth chart being right now. I think Flacco got off to a little bit of a slow start, but the last couple weeks he's really picked things up. And the concern with Flacco is what the concern with Flacco we all know is going to be when he takes the field, right? Is he going to be able to protect the football? I think that is something the Browns are trying to guard against this year, given how last year went, especially with Jameis Winston. And so he's going to have to certainly make sure that's a priority for him whether he plays in the preseason or not, but certainly once the regular season starts, if he's the guy starting week 1. With Kenny Pickett, I've had my fair share of concerns about Pickett since they traded for him. I understand that they see him and view him as kind of their Sam Darnold reclamation project. And I think there were some practices before he had the hamstring issue where he was showing some confidence and building some confidence and, showing that there was something there that the Browns saw and that they were hoping would translate to the field. I think for me, though, Pickett was always going to have to do a little bit more convincing for me because we've seen him have really good training camps in the preseason before. A couple of years ago, he had a brilliant preseason, and there were people saying he was like an MVP candidate that year before the season even started. So, and now for Pickett, I think the problem is just going to be, can he get back into this thing because he's lost some time with this injury. And I do feel like based on how they've kind of set this up for this week where they're taking care of both him and Dillon Gabriel, I think next week, the joint practice with the Eagles, we're going to see a lot of Kenny Pickett, and that'll kind of be his chance to maybe get back into the competition a little bit. I think Dillon Gabriel, I understand the things that they like about him, and I think those things do come out on the field. You can tell he's able to handle a lot. His experience in college, being in college for as many years as he was, he picks up things pretty quickly. He has the strong arm, and you've seen that at times. I actually thought he was starting to maybe turn a corner a little bit in terms of being more consistent and making some of the tougher throws. And then he had that day late last week Friday, where he struggled, and then it kind of translated into Saturday where he struggled again. And now he's dealing with the hamstring issue of his own where he's only doing 7-on-7, so it's kind of hard to tell. But I do think the issue with him is just when he misses, he seems to miss pretty bad. And some of that could be in relation to his height. Some of it just might be the accuracy is something that he needs to work on. But I think he's still kind of getting a feel for things at this point, even though they feel he's more advanced and ready to handle certain things that maybe Shedeur Sanders isn't. And obviously that brings us to Shedeur. I think Shedeur has been probably the most consistent of the quarterbacks at practice, but we also know he's only been doing it with a lot of the 2s and the 3s. I think we saw even on Monday's practice, they did sort of like a hurry up offense type thing with like 25 seconds on the clock. And it was this instance where you saw the 2 really good throws, one to Deontay Johnson, that one that you guys were showing there on the highlight to Luke Floria. But then they sort of did another, they reset it with the hurry up offense trying to get in field goal range. And you saw him take like 2 sacks. And it was like, okay, so some of that is some of the stuff that I think Shedeur still needs to work on. And that might be like, those are the things in the classroom that might be holding him back a little bit from getting more reps with the ones and that they just haven't quite seen him come around on yet. I'm not saying he can't do those things, but there's clearly something in their minds that is preventing them from feeling like he's ready for more at this stage of his rookie year.
Spencer, 24 days till Ohio State plays Texas, number 1 versus number 2 in college football. You rarely see that at the beginning of the season. I know you do a Buckeyes show with my nemesis, Nick Wilson. But give us a little preview of what you're expecting from the Buckeyes in that game and for the season.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Like you said, you don't normally get number 1 versus number 2 to start off the year like that. So I can guarantee you, well, I'm going to guess that the Hasms will be in attendance for that one. I'm going to guess there's going to be a lot of team scouts in attendance for that one. And I think like the biggest thing that sort of the biggest headline going into this game really is like, what are either of these teams' quarterback situations going to look like? Because I know everyone's touted Arch Manning as the next great quarterback, and a lot of it has to just do with his last name. But the fact of the matter is, like, he's only played really like a handful of games at this point in his career at Texas, and so we don't really know the full picture for Arch Manning. We obviously don't know the full picture for Julian Sayin, other than what people have sort of seen at practice, and there's a lot of raving about how strong his arm is, and that's great. But the Buckeyes obviously lost a lot last year, so I don't know. If you're putting me on the spot of like, which way do you lean or something like that, I'd probably say Texas. I think Texas just has like a deeper roster right now, and they're bringing back a lot of guys. They're sort of more in a situation that Ohio State was in last year than what Ohio State is this year, where I think they had to replenish a lot of different positions. But Ohio State, we know, is loaded with 4- and 5-star talents. Yep. They're going to be fine. Even if they lose that game, I think they could easily win out like the rest of the year, although I think Penn State's going to be a bigger challenge this year because they bring a lot of guys back. But that's definitely going to be a fun game. Everyone is going to be locked in for that one for sure, just to see like what these teams sort of look like right out of the gate.
All right, Spencer, good stuff, man. We appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Vince.
Absolutely, guys. Yep. Hope to see you guys soon.
All right, Spencer German, good to talk with him. By the way, just when I'm starting to give some love to the Guardians again, they have Kyle Manzardo on the bench.
I mean, you're surprised by this?
And Kafis is playing.
But this is what, Vogt has said he's going to play everybody. I disagree with that. I like Mike Hargrove's approach. Your starters are starters for a reason. There's a reason why you have starters.
That's right.
And there's a reason you have bench guys. Starters should play every day. Or close
and
to
your boy
it.
Schneeman's on the bench today, too. So
Tough break.
there you go. All right, Earl, you have a read for us?
Yeah, it's just a good time. Like I said, subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Smash the like button, man, and make sure you are tapped into the know to all the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show spin-off shows. I'm sorry, I got distracted by somebody coming through the door. Yo, so next up, before we are joined by our in-studio guests, I just had a question that kind of popped in my head with Mike and Jason on the panel yesterday. Of course, we were getting ready for the 2025-26 season. Joe Vardon put out a great article the other day. He gave the Cavaliers a B for their off-season efforts. Just curious, in your mind, Mike, I'll start with you. Who is the Cleveland Cavaliers' most important role player this year?
I think there's two answers, and it depends on what you quantify as a role player. Like we're assuming
how would you define role player?
We're taking the core four out of this, right? We're assuming Earl for the sake of this,
taking the core four out of this.
Then everybody else is.
Everyone else is
Hunter really a role player, though?
So I know in the rundown, Earl put DeAndre Hunter as the guy who's asking, is he the most important role player? And I think to a certain extent, he probably is the right answer. He got dropped into the Cavs lineup last year midseason. I think it is way easier said than done to change systems completely and then fit into a team with an already established pecking order. I think Hunter did a fine job with it, but I anticipate him taking another gigantic step forward in terms of understanding offensive and defensive principles, playing alongside and off of the rest of the core four. Hunter's, once again, probably the right answer because he unlocks what I think is the Cavs' best lineup, and that's him at the 4 alongside Evan at the 5 and shooters at the 1, 2, and 3. And that positional flexibility and that lineup versatility he provides is something that I don't think anyone else on the roster really does. Sure, you could put Dean Wade in that category, but he's just nowhere near the offensive player that DeAndre Hunter is. And one of the things I had an issue with Cleveland in the postseason last year was that when Indiana stopped helping off their drives and forced them to beat them one-on-one, they just didn't have guys who were capable of getting good looks in one-on-one situations against advanced defense. And part of that was due to injury, but injuries be damned, it's the playoffs. DeAndre Hunter's a guy who was dealing with the right thumb sprain, but is a guy who can create a one-on-one shot better than, I'd say, everyone outside of Donovan, Darius, and Evan on Cleveland. You could throw it to him in the high post. He can shoot over smaller defenders. He can take guys off the dribble. He's not much of a playmaker, but he is a guy who can be a counter if teams are going to just not help and say, hey, we're pulling back. We're not going to help. You got to beat us one-on-one. He's a guy who can. So I think the right answer is DeAndre Hunter, but I have someone else in mind that if you guys don't mention, I'd like to come back to and mention my other guy as well.
Well, Hunter was my guy for a lot of the reasons that you mentioned. I just think, first of all, I think he needs to be in the starting lineup.
I do too.
And I think Strus needs to come off the bench. It was okay. I guess last year, if you don't want to disrupt what you have with the chemistry with Max, and the numbers were fine. Like they played great with Max in the starting lineup. But Hunter gives you the length that you need in that starting lineup, particularly when Darius is healthy, when you're going to be small in the backcourt. DeAndre's versatility is so important to this team. The fact that he can play really 2 through 5, and you don't lose a step defensively with him. 3-point shooting will be key for him. He's going to get a ton of open looks playing with the guys around him. So I think Max provides a really important role to this team. We said it during the playoffs. I think there was times where Donovan trusted Max more than probably anybody else on the floor. He seemed to be going out of his way to find Strus when some of the other guys were scuffling, and you can make a case for a couple different guys as being key role players. But to me, if you're taking out the 4 guys at the top and everybody else is available on the board, it's DeAndre. They're certainly paying him like a top role player, and there's a reason why they knew acquiring him was going to put them into the second apron, and they did it anyway. And it was sort of the versatility and the value that he provides.
So I don't even think of Hunter as a role player. I mean, if Jared Allen's not a role player, I don't see how DeAndre Hunter's not a role player. But the question is, who's the most important role? So to me, it's Lonzo Ball, because he's the big wild card on this team. My assumption is that he won't be healthy enough to really help them enough. But let's say, in theory, he is. Like, he's a low-budget Jason Kidd. I mean, that type of skill set, right? So if he was somehow able to stay healthy like he did in 2022, he could make a pretty big impact because he's a well-rounded player. And they don't have a lot of players they don't really have anybody like him that kind of does everything. You know, he's not like great at anything, but he does everything well.
He's a great passer.
Okay.
He is a great passer.
But he's like a guy who does a little bit of everything, right? And they don't have guys like that. You look at the Pacers, it felt like they had a bunch of guys like that. And the Cavs don't really have many guys like that. So if he's healthy, I think he's a huge X factor for the Cavs. It's a huge if he's going to be healthy. But
the one thing on Lonzo, so he missed 2 full seasons with the knee injury. The games he missed last year at the end of the season were due to a wrist. The knee is back to being, according to all reports, knee's healthy. The wrist is healthy. He's coming into this season as healthy as he has going back to the 21-22 season, which bodes well.
And maybe he would have played down the stretch if he were on a good team.
If they were more competitive.
Yeah.
All that is totally valid. So can he stay healthy? It's a giant can, a giant what, a giant if that we can't predict. But that was the other guy I wanted to mention, Bull, because I think part of the reason the Cavs were so adamant about bringing in a player like Lonzo, whether it was Lonzo or whether it was someone else in free agency, I like the Lonzo risk because I think the ceiling's a lot higher than the other guys in that realm could have been. Mm-hmm. Is he's the ultimate connector. A guy like that who is a complete, I want you to get involved first. I want you to get involved first. And on those second units, last year, if he's taking the Jerome minutes when he's healthy, right? Jerome, for as good as he was a shoot first, score first. I'm going to get mine, then I'm going to help you get yours. And if Evan Mobley's going to take that leap that we keep saying he has to take, and I did a whole Cavs show this morning on some more reasons why I think it could be set up perfectly for Evan to take that jump, putting Lonzo in those minutes, who could care less if he scores 2 points or 22 points, does not care. His goal is to make the right basketball play, and in a lot of instances, the right basketball play is going to be passing up a decent shot for myself to get Evan a ball in an advantageous position to where he can attack a defense. And if he is in those second units alongside either Darius or Donovan, he can be the primary point of attack defender because he's 6'6" with long arms and pretty athletic, not as athletic as he was. And he can be the secondary offensive creator to where he's getting other guys good looks in ways that Ty Jerome just wasn't doing last season. He could be a guy, I think, in almost any lineup the Cavs put together next year, could be the kind of connecting force that makes a lot of it work.
His game speaks for himself when he's healthy. The big issue with him is, can they keep him healthy? I'm not convinced that he can stay healthy for an entire season, but I do think this organization is really good. I mean, they brought Andrew Bynum back. You really want to go back in the day, guy with chronic knee problems. And, I mean, it ended terribly because it's Bynum and he's kicking basketballs all over practice. But from the health standpoint of the knees, the Cavs have a great training staff. The relationship with the clinic is a built-in advantage that a lot of other teams don't have. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the same people are here from way back then. They're still with the team. And they just do – their medical is top-notch. And I just know from physicals and scans on guys before, the Cavs team doctors have found things that players either didn't know they had or didn't admit that they had wrong with them. Right. So it's really an excellent staff that I think – can help. If they can just get him to April, he's not going to play on back-to-backs. They're going to limit his minutes. They're going to keep him in bubble wrap, really. But you have to play him to get him ready. It's sort of like the Browns were talking the preseason. You got to practice football to play football. You got to practice basketball. You can't just not play this kid till April. But if they can do a good job of keeping him limit his minutes until April, he could be a weapon for him.
Can you explain a little more about the partnership the Cavs have with the clinic and why that's unique? Because I knew there was the Cleveland Clinic's practice court, but I never really thought about that being an advantage that other teams may not have.
It's just, I mean, the clinic is a world-renowned facility, and they are the Cavs team doctors. The Browns have UH, which is fine. The Guardians and the Cavs both use the clinic, so you have full access to literally world-renowned healthcare, and you've got some of the best doctors around. So it's just that partnership that I think it's just really smart, and the clinic will carry that partnership over with them to the new practice facility. There's going to be a clinic building in the building that they're building. So it's really just you have access to world-renowned care that, I mean, there are other great places. You know, Boston has great care, the Mayo Clinic. There are other great facilities, but the Cleveland Clinic is truly like worldwide in its healthcare. And to have that partnership with the team is really, it's an advantage for the Cavs.
On a related note, isn't it ironic that Lonzo Ball's dad is the most narcissistic, egocentric guy, and his son is completely unselfish as a player?
And LaMelo is the opposite.
Right.
His youngest brother is a shoot first. Now, he's actually a really good passer. He just opts not to pass. Lonzo
is all about the team.
Is all about team. Yeah. Everything you could want. Like it's can he stay healthy? Other Cavs news, real quick, and not even Cavs news. George Niang got traded from Boston back to Utah.
Yeah.
Probably going to get bought out. The Cavs do have a roster spot open. Would you be interested, Jason, in a George Niang reunion for that last final roster spot?
Sure.
Because I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I never thought Kevin Love was really a possibility. I just didn't think
he wants to. All reports that he wants to go to L.A.
And that's no surprise. He's been connected to L.A. throughout his entire career.
It's not a surprise?
No.
For a while, didn't he hate LeBron for a while?
Well, they're
over it now?
If you can figure out that relationship, let me know, because it has been like this. Yeah. But I think they've had enough time apart now, and I think everything's fine. Yeah. But I mean, when the Cavs traded for him, there was all these rumors that he wanted to go to L.A. Obviously, he played at UCLA, so he's got the L.A. blood. He's
right.
So that I'm not at all surprised by that, and it just didn't feel like a good fit. Just knowing some of the backstory there, I would move on from that. The Tristan thing makes a lot of sense. I'd bring Tristan back, but I mean, George can help you on the court more than Tristan can, and George is a locker room guy too. So if it works out, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And for a lot of the complaints that came with George, and a lot of them were very fair, on a veteran.
What are the complaints that came with George?
He couldn't hit a shot.
Couldn't hit a shot.
Well,
defensive
he
liability.
Fits in on this team. Can't hit a shot in a big spot.
Well,
the entire bench is that way.
It's a lot different when he's making, or when the Cavs would be paying him like 1.6 on the veteran minimum, as opposed to an $8 million annual average value, which is what the initial contract was. You could live with a guy doing some of the things that George does in the not good stuff.
Yeah.
For a vet minimum, as opposed to a guy that you invested real money in. But he was the ultimate locker room guy.
He and Dean Wade could do a least clutch competition.
What? He gives you a little Dean Wade insurance, put it that way. Or I guess maybe Dean Wade gives you a little George Niang insurance, depending on how you want to look at it. But it's a big body you can shoot.
Insurance that doesn't pay out.
And was beloved in the locker room.
Okay. So. Well, that's important for the last bench spot, obviously. So I guess I got no problem. It's not like they're going to get anybody much better.
No.
What are the options at this point?
A lot of times we have these conversations, and I just kind of roll my eyes because we keep throwing all these names out. But then Niang one, that makes a lot of sense.
All right. What's up, Earl?
Not much. We still waiting on our guests. So I guess while we wait on our guests, Mike, set this next thing up while I get things set up back here. We were talking earlier about who do you think the most current beloved Cleveland sports athlete is.
Earl and I were talking this morning. Just upstairs, we were just messing around. And Earl came in and was like, I was thinking, is Donovan Mitchell the most beloved athlete in Cleveland right now?
No.
And I said, I think it's Jose. Based off.
I don't even think Donovan's second. I don't even know Jose's first, but go ahead.
Well, the question was, who do you think is currently the most beloved Cleveland athlete?
Myles Garrett.
I disagree.
And then Jose.
So.
I disagree.
I know there's some people that don't like him. I think it's a loud minority. People, Jose's definitely ahead of Donovan, but I think both are ahead of Donovan.
I had Jose.
Donovan hasn't been here long enough.
Well, and that's why I had Jose ahead of Donovan on this list. But Donovan has, and to Earl's point, because I think Earl was going to argue for Donovan.
Yeah.
He's integrated himself in the community as quickly as a superstar can. He was in the Muni lot last year, did the keg bowling.
Oh, he's certainly beloved.
And people love him. So
you think he's ahead of Myles Garrett?
I think Miles hurt himself a little bit.
Sure,
with
but
the
I think
contract negotiation.
I think it's a smaller percentage than you think. But
I mean, the other two guys. I mean, Jose took less.
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves Jose.
Yeah.
If we're going based on percentage of fans that love the player, like that care and love the player, Jose's a landslide.
But I think Jose gets dinged a little bit because the Guardians are third in town. And so it's hard to say that he's the most beloved player when their team just doesn't get quite the oxygen that the other teams in town do.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it should be Jose. Like, if you ask me who should it be, it should be Jose. But to Mike's point, Donovan's bowling in the keg lot. Donovan's at the high school basketball games.
He works out with the high school kid.
So it's
if
a good
Shedeur
question.
Sanders plays well, he's going to be number one.
Shedeur will skyrocket if he's named the starter.
But I mean, who else is in the conversation?
It would be those three. I think it'd be Miles. Now that Nick's gone.
Could it have been Chubb? Would Chubb have been number one if Chubb was still here?
100%.
Yeah.
Right, Chubb?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nobody, you can't find a single person that didn't like Nick Chubb.
And Earl, to Earl's defense, when he came into the office, said, now that Nick Chubb's gone.
Right, I saw his tweet.
So
I didn't see it.
He just asked the question that.
So I think a lot of the discrepancy, I think it comes down to two people, Jose or Donovan Mitchell. And a lot of people are arguing, well, Jose has been here for a long period of time. And that's fair. But Donovan Mitchell literally be having boots on the ground, interacting with people. He's at Muni Lot tailgates. If you catch any of the celebrity all-star games that any of these athletes host, he literally takes time to interact with as many fans as he can. So I'm just judging that based off fan interaction plus on-court success, etc. I'm just curious what people thought.
Yeah, I still think Myles Garrett's number one, but
why don't you think Myles, Earl?
I just think I think there's been a few things with Myles Garrett that has taken place since he's been a member of this team that makes people kind of hot and cold on Myles. I don't think he's even universally embraced, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I just think this. If we're basing it on raw numbers, there's so many more Browns fans than there are Cavs fans and Guardians fans that I think the most popular Browns player is always going to be the most. If we're talking about percentage of fans in the sport that love their player, it's Jose easy, and then Donovan, and then Myles. But if it's just raw numbers, I still think it's Myles, despite the fact that he probably has more haters than the other two.
Yeah, and it's a shame. He shouldn't have, he's a Hall of Fame player.
Right, and that's the thing. Myles Garrett's a Hall of Famer, and Jose Ramirez took less money and is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. I think there's a good chance.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan's going to be a Hall of Famer too, but he had a lot of that with another team, whereas Myles and Jose have done it all with Cleveland. They've been here a long time, and obviously Jose took that major discount to stay.
I feel like that seals the deal. He took arguably, $100 million less
maybe more
to stay in Cleveland?
Yeah. I was thinking about this yesterday. Wouldn't he have been a free agent after last season, Jose, originally?
Oh, I don't remember. I have to go back and look.
I'm thinking, Juan Soto got $700 million. Now, Juan Soto's younger than Jose, so he gets more. But wouldn't Jose have gotten, if Jose had been a free agent after last year, would he have gotten $350 million?
If he was a free agent after last year.
Yeah.
How old is he? He's 30-something.
Judge got $365, didn't he? He wouldn't get Judge
in
money.
His 30s.
Yeah, he wouldn't get Judge money.
I think he would have gotten 300, maybe high 200s, maybe high.
This
guy,
275.
He may be underrated to casual fans. He's not underrated in the game.
Yeah. No,
he has more top 6 finishes for the MVP than any player since he's been in the league.
Yeah,
than any player.
He's probably in that 275 to 325 range.
And he signed for 140.
Jeez, it's unbelievable.
What a steal.
That just doesn't happen.
No. Crazy
in sports now.
Go ahead, Earl.
All right, we have our in-studio guest. It's time to bring him out as we get ready for the Professional Skateboarding Street League event that will take place during MGK Day. Boy, say it with me.
Got it right.
MGK Day. Yeah. But, of course, man, it's time to hear from our sponsor, FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling with FanDuel? You can get in on the game with your friends or while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with newly daily promotions and fun ways to bet. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started.
So we are joined now by professional skateboarder Manny Santiago. Manny, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
There's a big event in Cleveland. Is this like a national event? Are all the greatest skateboarders
this is like
in town?
If I can explain it, it's like the NBA of skateboarding. It's the best league, the best skaters, the best skating, the best fans. It's like trying to get into the NBA. This is what it is. Street League is that.
Is there as much drama in Street League as there is in the NBA?
No. But there is when it comes to like tricks and like who's gonna do what and what we think the tricks should be scored as professionals, right?
Yeah.
But it's like minor drama that creates a beautiful show. We're actually up there on the stage cheering each other on. Like I'm giving advice to the guy I'm trying to beat.
Oh, so you're not trash talking him?
No.
There's
Because
none of that?
skateboarding is something different. It's an art
Yeah.
form, and we are like literally throwing ourselves onto cement over and over again. So I think there's enough.
You don't want to see anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, no, and it's beautiful.
So how many guys or how many people? I don't know. Is it just guys or is it a mix?
So right now for the takeover, these are the smaller stops that we do.
Yeah.
But at such a big venue like MGK Day, where it's like giving back to the community, activating that, and it's a selected few out of like the over 30 skaters. But then we also have a wild card jam, which we invite other pro skaters that are equally good. But also there's like a local skater that's invited that gets to try to win his way to skate with the big guys.
That's
so
cool.
It's like a takeover of like the bigger show in a smaller setting, like the course, but the competition is just as high. It feels like you're in an arena because usually we do them in an arena,
right?
Like thousands of skaters, you know. Like in Brazil we just did 30,000 tickets, and in Paris we did 15,000. When this stadium, we build the skate park for 3 days and then it's gone.
Jeez. So you travel all over the world, competing.
I've been everywhere. Tell me a country and I'll tell you. I went to the Olympics for Tokyo.
So how many events is there a season like January to?
We don't skaters. We don't have an off season. That's the thing that a lot of people don't understand with other sports. Like at least like right with the NBA, you have like 3 months, 4 months. Same thing with NFL. When we're not competing, we're street skating. So we have 2 careers. So how Street League started was that. So with skateboarding is street skateboarding, like the stairs, the handrails, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then Rob Dyrdek, who's a native of Ohio, created this league where he took street skating and put it into a contest form in a contest setting with obstacles that look like the streets, something that's never been done. And then so when we're competing, when we're done competing, like days after or days before, we're actually in the streets filming as well, which is like a double world that we can compact into one. And that's why there's only so many elite skaters that can do it at that level, because it's like
and so all of you are super close.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You could say
That's
that a lot of us
fascinating.
on the court, we hang out, we hang out on and off the course, and some of us maybe not so close, but when we're skating together, it's like brothers. Yeah. It's super cool.
I've been dying to ask you this question. When I saw you were coming on, we are a sports show. We love the GOAT debate.
Yeah.
Is Tony Hawk the GOAT of skating, or is that just the easy, basic answer because he has a video game and that's the one?
Well, no. It's like it's like the comparison. When you talk about Magic Johnson and you talk about Jordan and LeBron and Kobe and then all the guys that trickle in between, for his era and of his skating, it was him and Christian Hosoi. That's another legendary skater. And in his era, what he was able to do technically made him the GOAT because of how he was winning. But then also he went and took it into the video game world, which changed everybody's lives, including
everything.
Well, mine. I started skating.
play?
I started skating because of the game.
Right.
Oh, for real?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So because of the game, I started skating, and it completely changed my life. So in my list of, he's just on a mountain on his own mountain. But when it comes to street skateboarding, and in the era I grew up in, it goes. If we can compare it this way, it goes Eric Costin is Michael Jordan, Paul Rodriguez is Kobe Bryant, and then Nigel Houston would be LeBron. That's the way. I've always said it forever. And there's a lot of good skaters in between that, just like a lot of good basketball players.
Sure.
But like if you're going to take it to the level of like from winning, how you win, how often you win, and then the impact you've had in skating, then that's how you would.
So how, from a fan's perspective, can you explain what it's going to be like, this event, for the fans that are coming to see you?
So the event for the takeover, the format, because it isn't a full course, it's just like more realistic to the street because it's just two obstacles with one setting. Is there's 7 attempts and you have to get 3 scores on the board. So it's like, and we're talking though, like every kid's dream trick at a spot.
Yeah.
Which usually
like
takes.
this?
Yeah, like that would take somebody like 2 hours, and he had to do it with 1 try, and that's with in between waiting time. So you're up there waiting for everybody to go. You can't go. Your adrenaline's kicking in, your nerves or whatever, and then you have to do all these tricks that kids just fantasize about.
Yeah.
And then you do them first try. But that's what makes the street league skaters like the best, is that they're able to do that. And street league also came up with this format, which changed the narrative of contest skating. It made it more realistic to the skater, not so much only about runs, but about individual tricks that are crazy. Kind of like a dunk contest.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it looks like the fans are able to get. Will fans be that close, like right on top of it?
Yeah. Usually for the takeovers, that close. In the arenas, they're that close. There's barriers, but and at some point, we're with other professional sports, you're so focused and locked in, you don't engage too much. We're focused and locked in, but we also understand how they feel and why they're there. So we are engaging with the crowd in between tricks, or right when we get off, we'll go up and talk to them, sign autographs.
Right.
And sometimes we have to say, like, you have to watch the skating, I'll come back.
Yeah, right.
So yeah,
gotcha.
but it's definitely a beautiful thing. I suggest if you've never seen live skateboarding, you should go. If you are a fan of skateboarding, you should go. If you just want to see like some wild stuff, you should go, because every try you're like at the edge of your seat. Like, I hope they don't fall, even though 9 out of 10 times you don't really fall hard.
There you see
There's
some
the
of the information, by the way. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Championship tour for North Coast Yard in Cleveland
This Saturday.
Yeah. Part of MGK Day
Is
festivities.
MGK going to make an appearance?
Yeah,
I heard he might.
Does he skate?
Well, this is the story with MGK, and what's
Yeah.
cool, which ties back also to Rob Deerdick being from Ohio, is like Rob started this, gave us an opportunity, because he's also an amazing skateboarder before he went on to do the MTV stuff. And then he passed on this thing, which then MGK, he's a big supporter of the skaters. He's good friends with Ryan Sheckler and other guys on the course. And he would come to the events. I remember 2015, it was my second year part of the league. I had won my way in. And I'm like looking up at the rafters and just MGK just walking around,
He's tall.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
And he's just like tall, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, no, it's crazy. And then it was like cool to see that. And over the years to see him support it and keep coming to the events and just being a part of the story of skating was cool. And then to come back around now with MGK Day and like activating like this space for the people of Cleveland and giving them a weekend where they can just forget about stuff and just enjoy life and like just be. They brought in Street League to also like help activate the street skaters here and tie it in with all the skaters from around here and just give a good show.
Do you know offhand the name of the local skater that's getting an opportunity?
Yes, Cyril Jackson.
So
He's
this
from
is
Ohio.
an opportunity. What does he have to do to get on the tour with you guys?
Well, Cyril already has like a professional career.
Okay.
But he never made it into this league, right?
Gotcha.
So like now he has an opportunity by being invited to. We're all friends, because we do skate street.
Yeah.
But now he got an opportunity to showcase his talent in an area he's from.
Yeah.
And then if he makes it in, it's just like hometown hero that's already pro.
Right.
Like being invited to the All-Star game. Like if you were from, being invited. So he's being invited to the All-Star game, and he has to show up and show out. And then if he gets that, he'll probably get invited more. And over time, if he does really well, he'll actually get invited to the arena stops.
So there's nothing he can do specifically in this event to get in there. It's got to be an accumulation of things.
Because it's the tricks. So yeah, he just got the wild card group that were invited. We're talking like Ryan Sheckler. We're talking like also the biggest names.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's got to outdo the best of the best.
Quite a challenge.
Yeah, quite the challenge. But if you believe in yourself and you go for it, anything is possible. Just like this event this weekend.
Sure.
Most people wouldn't have thought it was possible. And now Street League is here for the first time, back where it's started in its roots in Ohio.
Cool.
What kind of trick would he have to pull off?
Well, I know. I know his skating, and the cool part is that there's no specific trick because everybody skates different. Mm-hmm. Just like everybody has a different jump shot, everybody jukes different. So the way the tricks are scored is by difficulty and then style. And Cyril does have a bag of tricks that can potentially, if he plays his cards right, get him in. He could like double backside flip the gap. He can let's say tray flip 50 the rail. He can 540 flip the stairs. Those are 3 tricks that I know he can do. So it's like, but it's up to him. You have one try to do the hardest trick of your life in the moment while people are watching. Yeah.
Adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, adrenaline pumping.
Rooting for him. He's a local guy.
Yeah, and everybody, and I'm gonna be hosting.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make sure that he gets all the love.
Are you skating this weekend?
I can. I'm recovering from a hurt ankle, but
Okay.
I enjoy hosting.
Yeah.
Almost as much as competing, and just being out there with my friends and my colleagues, just hyping them up and giving them that reassurance and love.
Is this the type of sport, and because different sports vary, but some sports it's more about the physical gifts you have versus how hard you work. Like obviously you got to work hard to be good at any sport, but in some sports there's like I couldn't, no matter how much I practice, I was never playing in the NBA. So like is skating is this a sport where it doesn't necessarily matter your body type? I mean, you can't be, I'm sure, fat, but like me. But I'm calling myself.
I say you're big bone. That wouldn't.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. But like, is it a sport where if you were as a kid and you're working your ass off, you can possibly get there, no matter what your background is or what physical tools you have?
So I'll give you a recap of like what my career was.
Okay.
I started late. I started around 15 years old skateboarding.
Wow. That's late?
Yeah, it's late. Kids now,
Kids
now
are
we're
out
talking,
there,
I started skating 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So like now kids are starting at like 3, 4.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I saw a video of like a 12-year-old winning a competition recently, 13.
Yeah, it's insane. But it doesn't matter age.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter physical ability. All that matters is really the hard work and self-belief. More self-belief than hard work. Because tricks you can learn over time, but you can't teach mentality.
Right.
So it's like if you have that mentality that you can push through it, do it, and not give yourself a time frame and just go for it.
Yeah.
In skateboarding, you can do it, and that's why it's a beautiful thing. It's attainable,
Right.
Like it really is attainable. You just have to really sacrifice. That's the one thing. It's like mental edge and sacrifice. And then if you work hard at it long enough, like, I'm about to be 40 next month, and I'm still competing at the highest level with the best guys in the world.
Are there guys older than you that are competing?
I'm currently the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm paving the way for the new old generation.
You were talking earlier about everybody's got a different jump shot, everybody's got a different dunk. So if this is All-Star Weekend, is there such a thing as the hardest trick to pull off, and what is it?
A long time ago, I would have told you that, but due to Street League, the level of skateboarding has gotten pushed every year to a point that I can no longer say that's the craziest trick I've done or that's the craziest trick I've seen.
What did it used to be?
It would just be like a very technical flip trick onto a rail or a hubba, and then there was that, depending on the obstacle. Now it's like not only are you flipping in, but then you have to flip out, or you have to spin out, or you have to shove out. Like the level of skateboarding, because it's so attainable and so visible, and the level and the bar keeps getting raised to try to get a 9 club, which is like a triple-double in skating. I mean, in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You get a 9 club, I actually have a tattoo. I have a bunch of them. I think I have 12. But
hell yeah.
every time I get one, I get a star around
Now,
it.
what's a 9 club?
It's when the 9 club is like the elite level of tricks. So when you get it, like the screen goes wide, it says 9 club, your name, the whole crowd goes wild, the roof wants to. It's like that's an experience.
It's a perfect score.
Yeah, well, there is no perfect score because it would be a 10, and a 9.9 is the most you can get. But once you get a 9 already, though, the crowd celebrates with you because they know that you got your triple double, right? So there is no, I can't tell you anymore. There's no best trick. I don't think there will ever be a best trick.
Are all the 9 clubs you've gotten off the same trick that you've done a bunch of times, or is it 9 different tricks that have?
I wish it was 12 different tricks, but some of them are repeated tricks on different obstacles. Yeah.
How many judges are there?
There's 5 judges.
Okay, and do they travel around the country too? Or?
Yeah, and they're skaters.
Interesting.
Everyone has to have a pedigree within skating.
Oh,
and they
I
have
see.
a criteria, and they have a judging panel, and they talk about tricks, and they watch us practice, and then the highest and lowest score gets dropped, and then the 3 get
3 middle.
Yeah.
The
averaged.
The crowd, I'm curious, is it made up of like a heavy percentage of skate fans specifically, or is it a lot of just people that are just, I'm interested, this is something I don't know about, I'm going to come in there?
It could be like 60-40 because you got to think, right? So a kid wants to go, his friend wants to go, then the parents want to go,
right?
Then their neighbors find out they're going, and they might have used to skate, but they don't really watch it anymore,
right?
And then some people just like to see extreme sports. So it's heavily like SLS fans, but then new fans trickled in. Like we did Santa Monica. Look, this thing filled up to the point where the boardwalk was like and that was light. It got even worse than that. I was in the middle of that yelling the whole time. Come on, let's see these jerseys.
Were you emceeing or were you?
Yeah, I was emceeing because I just hurt my foot right before that event. Yeah,
I've been to that pier. It's a cool place.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah.
In general, is it more popular in like warm weather places?
No,
or not necessarily.
No, because skateboarding is big all around the world, and then most of the stops when we do them international, they're arena based. So if it is a cold place, they're going to the arena, and then also Street League makes sure that they're like placing the event when the fans can attend. It's not like a loose like, oh, we'll show up if you want. No, they make sure that they tailor it to the fans so that they can get a good experience. Same thing with like merch and all that stuff. And
this may be a really dumb question.
No question is dumb in skating.
No, I've asked some dumb ones before, but I think this one may. Watching the video of like the cake, whatever the flip was off the stairs, and you guys landing on pavement and concrete time after time. How do you guys still have knees? Like I'm shocked your skaters' knees and ankles aren't just in shambles. It's a lot of impact on a frequent basis.
A long time ago, when I first came up, it's so weird to say that. When I first started skating a while ago, working out and taking care of your body wasn't the norm. Mm-hmm. It was just more like what you would see in movies, right? It was like graffiti, rock and roll, all that stuff, like Outcast. But during that time, I started skating, and in these cities like this, it was like the unfortunate kids that didn't have a good upbringing that found their way to skating to have a family. Yeah. So you would just skate and like battle that, like like drugs and drinking and like, oh my God, like that. But skating pulled you away from that. And then as my career went on, right, like I started to see when I turned pro, I saw the top tier pros like working out in secret because they didn't want to get frowned upon. Yeah. And then so I adapted that, and then now going to PT, working out, going to specialists and all that is a norm. Oh. It's a norm. Like I just I got an X-ray on my MRI on my foot. PT told me to stay off for 2 weeks, try to skate on Monday. Like that wasn't a thing. Back then you would like power through it, you didn't care. So that's why that's also changing. But to say that I don't feel pain is a lie. Like I skate in pain a majority of the time, but I love skating so much, and it gives me such a sense of freedom that the pain will never be enough to stop me.
You said you're the oldest guy on there. How old is the youngest guy?
On the course now that I could say, probably this weekend, probably like 14, 15.
14?
15, yeah.
And he competes with like adults?
Yeah, but it's because of what I told you. Like so he started skating at a young age. Yeah. Julian.
Yeah. And he travels the world.
He travels the world. His parents support him. Wow. He's at the parks with us. He practices with us. Yeah. We'll skate together. He'll skate street, and he did it. The first half of his career he did on his own. It wasn't like people were helping him. Like he wanted it. Yeah. But it's because we paved the way for that idea. Yeah. And then so I find myself sometimes going like, I'm literally 39 hanging out with 15-year-olds. Like I'm gonna go pick you up. Let's go skate, and you're 15. I'm like. But at the same time, it's because we love skating. There's no.
You have that shared love.
There's no discrimination.
That's cool.
In our sport, in art form, with age, race, none of that. It's just straight skating, and that's why Street League has done a good job because they're bringing them in also to skate against us.
So before you go, you got one more thing, Mike?
I was gonna make sure. Are tickets still available?
Yeah, they are. ClevelandSports.org.
Okay.
ClevelandSports.org. We'll put up the graphic again where it's going to be and the date if General. There you go.
After the show, sell out. Thanks to you guys. So
yeah.
We'll do our best.
All right. Now you're the MC. You're the host. So I don't know if you can answer this question, but if you can,
I can answer.
Can you handicap like who you think the favorite is?
Well, for Santa Monica, they asked me.
Yes.
On the mic.
Okay.
And I actually ended up picking the winner,
you
which
picked
was
the winner. All right, so you're the right person to ask.
Right. Looking at the layout. Yeah. Depending on how the judges are going to score. Yeah. I want to say there's a couple, but if it was up to me, you're going to have to go and watch.
What does the winner get? Last thing real quick.
Yeah. They get a prize purse, this trophy that means the world to anybody who has it. I've been chasing it for 13 years. I've been chasing this trophy. and just the bragging rights to know that you're one of the most elite skaters in the whole entire universe of planet Earth.
In other sports, guys, go through slumps, hot streaks. Does that happen? Like guys go through slumps and break out of it?
Yeah, I did twice. I almost stopped skating in 2017. I almost retired.
Wow.
And then I heard about the Olympics, and then it ignited me to represent Puerto Rico, which is my country, and I've gotten only better since.
Manny, we appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
Everybody go out on Saturday and check it out. Sounds
Pull
like
up.
a lot of fun.
North
and
Coast.
It seems like a real cool bunch of people involved with this. I like the vibe that you're bringing here.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, none of us knew anything about skating. We were like, what are we going to talk to Manny about?
Yeah.
We had plenty to talk to you about. It was nice talking with you. So sounds like an awesome event. Thank you for
When
coming
you guys
down.
come back next time, we got to get Bull on a skateboard.
Easy.
We'll do I'll die.
We'll do a whole video now. No, we'll pad you up. We'll put you in a place where
I just want to see Bull in pads.
I'm in.
I got to be in like
these are your guys. We'll get in touch.
I got to be
We'll
one of
make
those
that
giant,
happen.
those bowls that they put people in, and they can
hamster ball.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, like the hamster ball.
No, we'll get you a nice 9-inch board. We'll make sure that we'll tighten the truck so you're not.
I mean, I grew up in New York City. A lot of my friends were like to skateboard, not your level, but not me.
So you're telling me you're gonna nollie flip crook is what you're saying?
What's that?
So you're telling me you're gonna nollie flip crook?
I have no idea what that is.
Chinese
no idea. I know nothing. I'm lost, and I don't think I've ever been on a skateboard. Have you?
Yeah, I tried as a kid. It just wasn't. I didn't have the self-determination.
Not yet.
Jason, have you been on a skateboard?
God, no.
We'll do a whole episode on you guys skating next time.
That would be funny.
Done. We
All
can
right,
make that happen.
we'll have the doctors ready, Justin.
I just want to see Bull.
Thank you guys so much.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
for coming
Go check
in.
him out
Good luck
Saturday.
this weekend.
North
Thanks,
Coast
everybody.
Yard,
Go
Street
Saturday.
Skateboarding League.
We appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to keep Manny right there for the rest of the show.
We'll just do some super
We're
chats
done in
and say
4
goodbye.
minutes, man. You guys stick around for 4 minutes.
Yeah, we're not doing no overtime today. We got
Go
some
ahead.
super chats, so we're going to just do the super chats, and we're going to say goodbye to everybody.
Fan comments.
So our guests can hang out. Let's start from the bottom. Who is this?
YouTube changed its algorithm now, so you can't see the full name. It's a pain in the ass.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You can't see the full name, so I apologize. But it says, this question is for Mikey and Bull. Who do you honestly root for when any of the Cleveland sports teams plays the teams that you rooted for growing up?
Like if the Browns play the Giants in the Super Bowl, I'd root for the Giants.
Yeah, but you got to keep it real. You root for that. I think fans know that already. You grew up rooting for different teams.
You went through that in the
World Series in 2016.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not ideal, but
James Mace Jr. says, Mikey, I love your content, but there is no way Duncan is higher than Kobe. Kobe, Mike, and Bron are the best to ever do it.
Kobe's not even. Yeah,
that's just Kobe's
not
a top 3
he's
of
not
all
top
time.
3.
Get out of here. Will Chamberlain? You gonna put Kobe ahead of Will Chamberlain?
Kobe
ahead of Bill Russell?
Kobe has ascended the list after his death. He
Yeah,
gets higher
yeah,
and higher
yeah.
and higher.
You
I
got
get
it.
it.
What's
I
your
get it.
favorite teams?
Well, I grew up in Mass.
Okay.
So obviously,
You're a Red
Celtics,
Sox fan?
Patriots, Red Sox.
Red Sox.
What part of Mass?
Yeah.
Lowell.
Lowell?
Yeah, Lowell.
family.
Mass.
I have been to Lowell, Mass, because they had a minor. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
saw
the
it.
Spinners.
The Lowell Spinners.
Yeah,
I've
I've been to a couple games. Yeah.
My dad was born in Billerica. And
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're like related.
I got family.
I mean, we got different skin tone colors, but we're related. That's fine.
All right, next one, Earl. What do you got?
Evan419 says, I never thought a group of fans would be more annoying than the Baker Bros. Thank God Jay isn't a Shedeurian. Shout out to Bulls Butcher.
All right, next.
Yeah.
D. Grat says, these non-Browns fans, Shedeurians, are way too sensitive. Cleveland is behind Shedeur. He deserves nothing. He will earn it on the field.
We'll find out Friday night.
Shedeurians, is that the name?
Yeah, that's
what we're going with?
That is the name.
Okay. Next.
I preferred Master Bakers over Baker.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yoshi, I can't see the rest of this. My apologies, but they sent in 3 super chats. The first one, I agree with G about Shedeur for months. The past month, messages have ended with TikTok, TikTok. Friday is the final talk. Time's up. Time is now. They went on to say, Ballers Ball, Floria and Sanders. We'll know soon. Also, I love Earl's hair. Thank you.
All right.
Your hair does look good.
I have hair.
It
I
does
have
look
hair
good.
envy. I wish I could grow hair.
That's
like
a
that.
lot of hair. Unlike you, it's all going away.
Yeah, I know.
Is that it, Earl?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thanks to Manny for coming in. We appreciate it. Everybody go down on Saturday and check it out. What's the website again, Cleveland?
ClevelandSports.org.
ClevelandSports.org. Make sure you check that out. There you go. There's the information. Big part of MGK Day festivities. I keep feel like I'm going to say that wrong. MGK.
He said MJK earlier.
I said MJK. Yeah, I screwed
Never
that
been
up.
an MJK.
It's because MJ, Michael. It's it's embedded forever in our brains.
That's right.
Yeah. Also, J.K. Shuttlesworth skates, and he played for the Browns.
Are there any other famous? We're out of time. We'll talk about it off the air. We'll see you later. Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
Peace.
Bye.